ॐ माधवाय नमः स्वाहा। ॐ नारायणाय नमः स्वाहा। ॐ हस्तप्रक्षालनं समर्पयामि श्रीगोविन्दाय नमः। लेफ्ट हैंड। ॐ वांग में आस्यस्तु, ॐ नासनसोर में प्राणवस्तु, ॐ अक्ष्णुर में चक्षुरस्तु, ॐ कर्ण्योर में श्रोत्रमस्तु, ॐ बाहोर में बलमस्तु, ॐ उर्वो में ओजवस्तु, ॐ अरिष्ठाणि में अंगाणि, तनुस्तनवा में सह सन्तु। ॐ श्रीखण्डचन्दनं दिव्यं गन्धाढ्यं सुमनोहरं विलेपनं सुरासृष्टः चन्दनं प्रतिगृहतां सुगन्धचन्दनं च तुभ्यं नमः। ॐ शुभं भवतु कल्याणम् आयुरारोग्य धनसम्पदा शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते। दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनं दीपो मे हरतो पापो दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते। शुभं भवतु कल्याण भवतु मंगलं भवतु दीपस्वरूपिणे नमः। अथ संकल्पम्। ॐ हरिः ॐ तत्सत् ॐ तत्सत् ॐ विष्णु विष्णुः विष्णुः नमः परमात्मने। श्रीपुराणपुरुषोत्तमाय श्रीपरमेश्वरज्ञाय अद्य ब्रह्मणे द्विते पराधे श्रीश्वेतवाराहकल्पे वैवस्वत्मन्वन्तरे अष्टाविंशतितमे कलियुगे कलिपथं चरणे जाम्बुद्वीपे नॉर्थमर्काखण्डे कनदादेशे ब्राह्मणनगरे भवानी शङ्करमन्दिरे आर्यावृतां तर्गतां ब्रह्मावृते कदेशे विक्रमशके बौद्धावतारे वर्तमाने यथानां संवत्सरे श्री शुभ संवत 2079 श्री रक्षसनामाब्दः संवत्सरे कार्तिक मासे शुक्लपक्षे शनिवासरे इति द्वादशी तिथौयाम् उत्तरभाद्रपदनक्षत्रः हर्षन्योगः बालोकरन् रवि दक्षिणायने एवं गुणाविशेषणां विशिष्टायां शुभपुण्यादिने सकलश्रुति स्मृति पौराणोक्तः फलप्राप्तिकामम् आमुक्नां यजमानस्य सपरिवारनामधेयस्य अमुक वर्माहं ममात्मना सपुत्रबान्धवस्य श्रीगणपति भगवान् पूजनं कलस्थापना वरुण देवता नवग्रह प्रार्थनाम् अष्टोशतनामावालीश लिङ्गपूजनम् अस्य श्री प्रदोषव्रत पूजनं करिष्ये। नमः महासत्यनारायण स्वामिने नमः। सर्वदेव नमस्कारं सत्यनारायण व्रत पूजन कथा संकीर्तनम् आरातिक्यं महाप्रसादं सर्वदेव पूजनं पूर्वकं नैरुज्य दीर्घायु पुष्टिधन्य धान्य समृद्ध्यातं नवग्रहमुखेन यचे इति संकल्पम्। स्वस्ति वाचन। ॐ स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नो स्थारिक्षो अरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ पया पृथिव्यां पय ओषधीशो पयो दिव्यन्तरिक्षे पयोधाः पयस्वती प्रदिशा सन्तु मह्यम्। ॐ विष्णुरारात्मसि विष्णुस्नप्त्रेष्ठो विष्णुस्यूरसि विष्णुद्रोवसि वैष्णवमसि विष्णवे तवाम्। अग्निर्देवता वातुदेवता सूर्यो देवता चन्द्रमा देवता वसो देवता रुद्रदेवता आदित्यदेवता मरुतो देवता विश्वे देवा देवता बृहस्पतिर्देवता इंद्रो देवता वरुणो देवता। ॐ द्यौः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षगुं शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्ति रापा शान्ति औषधयः शान्ति वनस्पते शान्ति विश्वदेव शान्ति ब्रह्मा शान्ति शान्तिरेवा शान्ति सामा शान्तिरेधीषु शान्तिर्भवतु। ॐ विश्वानि देव सवितरदुरितानि परासुव यद्भद्रन्तन्न आसुव हिमारुद्राय तवसे कपर्दिने क्षयद्विराय प्रभरामहे मति यथा शमसद्विपदे चतुष्पदे विश्वं पुष्टं ग्रामे यस्मिन्ननातुरम् एतन्ते देवा सवितर्यज्ञं प्राहुर्बृहस्पतये ब्रह्मणे तेन यज्ञमवतेन यज्ञापतिं तेन मामवाम्। ॐ मनो ज्योतिर्जुषतां माजस्या बृहस्पतिर्यज्ञमिमं तनोत्वरिष्ठागुम् यज्ञगुं समिमं दधातु विश्वे देवा सैहमादयन्तामोघं प्रतिष्ठा एष वै प्रतिष्ठानाम यज्ञो यत्र तेन यज्ञेन यजन्ति सर्वमेवा प्रतिष्ठितं भवतिम्। गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे प्रियाणां त्वा प्रियपतिगं हवामहे निधिनां त्वा निधिपतिगं हवामहे वसो मम अहं जानी गर्वधमा त्वं मजासि गर्वधम्। ॐ नमो गणेभ्यो गणपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो व्रातेभ्यो व्रातपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गृत्सेभ्यो गृत्सपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो विरूपेभ्यो विश्वरूपेभ्यश्च वो नमः। ॐ सुमुखश्च एकदन्तश्च कपिलो गजकर्णका लम्बोदरश्च विकटो विघ्नराजो विनायक धूम्रकेतुर्गणाध्यक्षो भालचन्द्रो गजाननं द्वादशैतानि नामानि यापते चुनियादपि विद्यारम्भे विवाहेश्च प्रवेशे निर्गमे तथा सङ्ग्रामे सङ्गतश्चैव विघ्नस्तस्य न जायते। ॐ शुक्लां भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवरनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये इति स्वस्ति वचनम्। बोले गणपति भगवान की जय। गणपति भगवान पूजन। गम गणेशाय विद्महे वक्रतुंडाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ती प्रचोदयात्। ओम गम गणपतये नमः। ध्यानं समर्पयामि नमः। मोषकवाहन मोदकहस्त चामर करुणा विलंबित सूत्र वामन रूप महेश्वर पुत्र श्री विघ्न विनाशनम पाधारं नमोस्तुते। महागणपते नमः। आवाहनं समर्पयामि नमः। आसनं समर्पयामि नमः। ओम गम गणपतये नमः। पादयोपाधयामि नमः। ओम गम गणपतये नमः। अर्घयो अर्घयामि नमः। ओम गम गणपतये नमः। स्नानं चतुभ्यम् आचमनीयं स्नानं चतुभ्यं समर्पयामि। महागणपतये नमः। पंचामृतमयानीतं पयोदधिघृतं मधु शर्करा समायुक्तं स्नानार्थं प्रतिगृहताम्। ओम गम गणपतये नमः। स्नानं समर्पयामि। गंगे च यमुने चैव गोदावरी सरस्वती नर्मदा सिंधु कावेरी जलेऽस्मिन् सन्निधिं कुरु। ओम गम गणपतये नमः। ओम महागणपतये नमः। ओम यज्ञोपवीति धारयामि नमः। यज्ञोपवीति धारयामि नमः। गंधं धारयामि नमः। गंधद्वारां दुरादर्शां नित्यपुष्टां करीशनीं ईश्वरी ग्वं सर्वभूतानां तामिहोपक्वये श्रियम्। ओम गं गणपतये नमः। गंधं धारयामि नमः। गुम अक्षतां समर्पयामि नमः। ॐ महागणपतये नमः। ॐ सुमुखाय नमः। एकदन्ताय नमः। कपिलाय नमः। गजकर्णकाय नमः। लंबोदराय नमः। विकटाय नमः। विघ्नराजाय नमः। धूम्रकेतवे नमः। गणाध्यक्षाय नमः। भालचंद्राय नमः। गजाननाय नमः। ओम वक्रतुंडाय नमः। ओम शूर्पकर्णाय नमः। ओम हेरंभाय नमः। ओम स्कंदपूर्वजाय नमः। महागणपतये नमः। धूपमाग्रापयामि नमः। वनस्पतिरसोद्भूतो गन्धाद्यो गन्धोत्तम आग्रह सर्वदेवानां धूपोऽयं प्रतिगृह्यताम्। धूपमाग्रापयामि नमः। देखिए, अगर आप लोग मंदिर में हैं तो चुपचाप बैठिए। अगर आप लोग मंदिर में हैं तो चुपचाप बैठिए। बोलने के लिए बाहर, प्लीज गो आउटसाइड इफ यू वांट टू टॉक, बट इफ यू आर इन द मंदिर प्लीज बी क्वाइट, डू नॉट टॉक। थैंक यू। चंद्रमा मनसो जातः चक्षो सूर्यो अजायत श्रोत्राद्वायुश्च प्राणश्च मुखादग्निरजायत धूपदीपनिवारणाय नमः। प्रसाद नैवेदयामि नमः। गुं नाभ्यासिदन्तरिक्षागुं शीष्णौ समवर्तथां पद्भ्यां भूमिर्दिशः श्रोत्रा तथा लोकामकल्पयम्। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। नैवेद्यम् आचमन्यं समर्पयामि नमः। ताम्बूलं समर्पयामि। फलं दक्षिणां च तुभ्यं। हिरण्यगर्भः समवर्तथाग्रे भूतस्य जाता पतिरेक आसीत् सदाधार पृतविन्ध्यामुते मां कस्मै देवाय हविषा विधेमम्। कदलीगर्भादिसम्भूतं कर्पूरां च प्रदीपितम् आरातिक्यमहं कुर्वे पश्य मे वरदो भवम्। कर्पूरनीराजनं ज्योति। ॐ गं गणपतये नमः। वन्दे गणपति विघ्नविनाशन हे लंबोदर गजानना। वन्दे गणपति विघ्न विनाशन हे लंबोदर गजानना। रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता तुम हो। रिद्धि सिद्धि के दाता तुम हो। हे शशि शेखर नंदना। हे शशि शेखर नंदना। वन्दे गणपति विघ्न विनाशन हे लंबोदर गजानना। वन्दे गणपति विघ्न विनाशन हे लंबोदर गजानना। जो ध्यावे वांछित फल पावे। जो ध्यावे वांछित फल पावे। अग्रदेव तुम्हें वंदना। अग्रदेव तुम्हें वंदना। वन्दे गणपति विघ्न विनाशन हे लंबोदर गजानना। वन्दे गणपति विघ्न विनाशन हे लंबोदर गजानना। काम क्रोध मद क्रोध मद लोभ आदि हरो निर्विकार निर्मल मना निर्विकार निर्मल मना वंदे गणपति विघ्न विनाशन हे लंबोदर गजानना वंदे गणपति विघ्न विनाशन हे लंबोदर गजानना विघ्नेश्वर 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 गजानना विघ्नेश्वर ओ विघ्नेश्वर विघ्नेश्वर गजानना विघ्नेश्वर 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 गजानना विघ्नेश्वर ओ विघ्नेश्वर विघ्नेश्वर गजानना वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा श्री गणपते नमः। बोले गणपति भगवान की जय। कलश पूजा, we do a special कलश पूजा today too. You can leave it right there. Invoke all the forms of the Lord inside. Om kalasasya mukhe Vishnu kanthe rudra samasritaham मूले तस्या स्थिते ब्रह्मा मध्ये मातृ गणस्मृताः कुक्षौ तु सागरा सर्वसप्तदीप वसुंधरा ऋग्वेदोऽथ यजुर्वेदो सामवेदो यथर्वणाङ्गैश्च सहिता सर्वे कलशं तु समाश्रिताः। ॐ कलशे ध्यावति पवित्रे पविसञ्चित्येम् उक्तैर्यज्ञेषु वर्धते इमं मे गंगा यमुने सरस्वती शुतोद्धृष्टोमां व्रजता पुरुषस्याम् असिक्ञां मुरुध्यहे विशिष्टार्जीयकीयते शृणु ह्यसुषोमयः गंगाध्वारं दुरादर्शां नित्यपुष्टां करीशनीं ईश्वरीगुं सर्वभूतानां तामिहोपह्वये श्रियं गन्धं धारयामि नमः। ॐ वं वरुणाय नमः गंधं धारयामि नमः। अक्षतां समर्पयामि नमः। अक्षताश्च सुराशिष्टां हिरण्यरूपा हिरण्य ॐ सदग्निपाया पात्मस्येतु हिरण्यवर्णां हिरण्ययात् परियो नरेतम् इति श्रीकलश प्रार्थना। ॐ वं वरुणाय नमः। ॐ वं प्रचेतसे नमः। ॐ वं स्वरूपिणे नमः। ॐ अपांपतये नमः। ॐ जलाधिपतये नमः। ॐ पाशहस्ताय नमः। ॐ तीर्थराजाय नमः। ॐ वेदांगाय नमः। ॐ ऋग्वेदाय नमः। ॐ यजुर्वेदाय नमः। ॐ सामवेदाय नमः। ॐ अथर्ववेदाय नमः। ॐ इतिहासाय नमः। ॐ पुराणाय नमः। ॐ वेदव्यासाय नमः। ॐ वसिष्ठाय नमः। ॐ उपवेदाय नमः। वेदांगाय वं वरुणाय नमः। धूपमाग्रापयामि नमः। ॐ मानस्तु केतनये मानु आयसो मानो गोसो मानो अश्विश्रीरिसा मानो विरानरुद्रभामिनो वधीरः विष्मन्ता सदा मित्वा हवामहे। आजिग्रह कलशं मह्या त्वादिशन्तिं दया पुनर्जानी वर्तस्य सानु शस्त्रं दुक्षोरुधारां पयस्वती पुनर्मा। ॐ अस्य श्री कलशदेवाय नमः। धूपदीपनिवारणाय नमः। धूपदीपनिवारणाय नमः। दीपं दर्शयामि नमः। नैवेद्यं समर्पयामि शर्करागृतसंयुक्तं मधुरं स्वादुचोत्तमम् उपहारासमायुक्तं नैवेद्यं प्रतिगृह्यतां नैवेदयामि नमः। ॐ वं वरुणाय नमः। नैवेद्यमाचमनीयं समर्पयामि नमः। ॐ वं वरुणाय नमः। ताम्बूलफलं नैवेद्यं समर्पयामि नमः। शर्करागृतसंयुक्तं मधुरं स्वादुचोत्तमम् उपहारासमायुक्तं नैवेद्यं प्रतिगृह्यतां प्राणाय स्वाहा अपानाय स्वाहा व्यानाय स्वाहा उदानाय स्वाहा समानाय स्वाहा। नैवेद्यमाचमनीयं ताम्बूलं समर्पयामि नमः। ॐ वं वरुणाय नमः। द्रव्यदक्षिणां सदुभ्यं समर्पयामि नमः। बोले वरुण भगवान की जय। ताम्बूल फलं दक्षिणां चतुभ्यं समर्पयामि नमः। ॐ कदलीगर्भादिसम्भूतं कर्पूरां चापदीपितम् आरातिक्यमहं कुर्वे पश्य मे वरदो भवं। कर्पूरनीराजनं ज्योतिं कलशकीर्तिमायुष्यं प्रज्ञां मेधां श्रियं बलं योग्यतां पापहानि च पुण्यं वृद्धि च साधयेत्। सर्वतीर्थमयो यस्मात् सर्वदेवमयो यता अथ हरिप्रियोऽसि त्वं पूर्वकुम्भ नमोऽस्तु ते। सकलपूजयार्थे अक्षतां पुष्पाणि समर्पयामि। ॐ हिरण्यसिंहं वरुणं प्रबध्यं तीर्थं मे देहि याचिता यन्मया भूतं साधुनं पापे भयश्च प्रतिग्रहं। यन्मया भूतं साधुनं पापे भयश्च प्रतिग्रह। यन्मे मनसा वाचा कर्मणा वा दुष्कृतं कृतं। श्री वं वरुणाय नमः। बोले वरुण भगवान की जय। नवग्रह प्रार्थना। ॐ नमोस्तु श्री नवग्रहदेवेभ्यो नमः। ॐ आकृष्णेन रजसां वर्तमानो निवेशयं नमृतं मर्त्यं च हिरण्ययेन सविता रथेन देवो याति भुवनानि पश्यन्। श्रीसूर्याय नमः। इमं देवा सपत्नकं सुवध्वं महते क्षत्राय महते ज्येष्ठाय महते जानराजाय इन्द्रसेन्द्रियाय। इमममुष्या पुत्रमस्ये विजयेशवोमि राजा सोमस्माकं ब्रह्मणानागं सिराजा। श्रीचन्द्रमसे नमः। अग्निर्मदा देव कुकुत्पतिं पृथिव्या अयम् अपागं रेतागं सिजन्मति। श्रीमङ्गलाय भौमाय नमः। उद्बुध्य स्वायग्निपतिजागृहि त्वमिष्टापूटे सगं सृजतामयं च। अस्मिन् सधस्ते अद्युत्तरस्मिन् विश्वे देव यजमानस्यासीदता बुम्बुधाय नमः। बृहस्पते यतियदर्योर्हादिमद्विभाति कृतमज्जनेषु यदीदयच्छावसारितु प्रजातां तदस्मासु द्रविणं देहि चित्रमा बृङ् बृहस्पते नमः। अनात्परिसुतोरसं ब्रह्मणा विशीवछत्रं पया सोमं प्रजापतिं ऋतेन सत्यमिन्द्रियं विपानगुं शुक्रमन्धसा इन्द्रसेन्द्रिमिदं पयोमृतं मधुशुक्राय नमः। शन्नो देवीरविष्टया पो भवन्तु पीतये शम्योरविश्रवन्तु नासं सनिश्चराय नमः। कयानश्चित्रा भुवा दूती सदा वृथा सखा कया सचिष्ठया वृथ रामरहवे नमः। केतुं कृण्वन्न केतवे पेशो मर्या पेशसे समुषद्धिरजायतं कालकिं केतवे नमः। ब्रह्मा मुरारी श्रीपुरान्तकारी भानो सजी भूमिसुतो बुधश्च गुरुशुक्र शनिराहुकेतव सर्वग्रह शान्तिकरा भवन्तु। गणाधिपोरकष्टशशिधरा सुतो बुद्धो गुरुर्भाग्योऽसो जनन्दन राहुश्च केतुश्च परनवग्रह कुर्वन्तु वा पूर्णमनोरथं सदा। प्रेम से बोलो श्री नवग्रह देवता की जय। अष्टदिक्पाल षोडशमात्री क्षेत्रपाल वास्तु ब्रह्मदेवाय नमः। Shankh Puja. Take flowers. Now we invoke the blessings of Bhagwan and all the Shankha. The Shankha this evening, as you know, we have 108 of them here. And we're going to ask Bhagwanji to bless all these Shankha and allow the presence of Shivji Bhagwan to be in all of them. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shankham Chandraka Devatam Madhye Varuna Devatam Prishte Prajapatim Vindhyat Agre Ganga Saraswatim Tvam Pura Sagarotpanno Vishnuna Vidhrita Kare Namita Sarvadevascha Panchajanyam Namostute. This is a Shankh mantra. Everybody repeat after me. Om Panchajanyaya Vidmahe Pavamanaya Dhimahi Tanno Shankah Prachodayat. Again. Om Panchajanyaya Vidmahe Pavamanaya Dhimahi Tanno Shankah Prachodayat. Again. Om Panchajanyaya Vidmahe Pavamanaya Dhimahi Tanno Shankah Prachodayat. Shankadevatabhyo Namaha. Sakala Pujarte Samarpayami Namaha. Bole Mahapati Mahadev ki Jai. We've invoked Shankh Devata into, we've prayed to Shankh Bhagwan actually and asked that he be present for us. Now what we're going to do is offer some prayers and ask the Lord to be present in all the Shankhas. We will do the 108 names of the Shankha of Lord Shiva Lingam Radha, the 108 names of the Lingam, and ask Bhagwan's blessings on all of you. Om. We usually do Archana for this one. So please take some flowers. If anybody, we ask you, if not the whole thing, but some point, come here and throw a few petals on the Kalash. As we're invoking now the 108 Shankha into the Kalash and ask all the Lingams to be present of Bhagwan Shiva. Today is a very great day of Pradosh of Shivji Bhagwan, which falls in the month of Kartik. So both Shiva and Narayana, as you know, are very powerful and very close. We ask their blessings. We can spare you a few flowers here if you come. We can give you some petals to join in the Archana. Om Asya Sri Sarvebhyo Avaranam Devatabhyo Namah Sarvopachararte Namaham. Om Lingamurtaye Namaha. Let the bells be done. Om Shivalingaye Namaha. Om Adbhutalingaye Namaha. On the Kalash. Om Anugatalingaye Namaha. Om Avyaktalingaye Namaha. Om Arthalingaye Namaha. Om Achyutalingaye Namaha. Om Anantalingaye Namaha. Om Anekalingaye Namaha. Om Anekasarupalingaye Namaha. Om Anadilingaye Namaha. Om Anantalingaye Namaha. Om Atmanandalingaye Namaha. Om Arjitapav Vinashalingaye Namaha. Om Akshitarakshakalingaye Namaha. Om Indulingaye Namaha. Om Indriyalingaye Namaha. ओम इंद्रादि प्रियलिंगाय नमः। ओम ईश्वरलिंगाय नमः। ओम ऊर्जितलिंगाय नमः। ओम ऋग्वेद श्रुतिलिंगाय नमः। ओम एकलिंगाय नमः। ओम ऐश्वर्यलिंगाय नमः। ओम ओंकारलिंगाय नमः। ओम ऋंकारलिंगाय नमः। ओम कनकलिंगाय नमः। ओम वेदलिंगाय नमः। ओम परमलिंगाय नमः। ओम व्योमलिंगाय नमः। ओम सहस्रलिंगाय नमः। ओम अमृतलिंगाय नमः। ओम बह्निलिंगाय नमः। ओम पुराणलिंगाय नमः। ओम श्रुतिलिंगाय नमः। ओम पाताललिंगाय नमः। ओम ब्रह्मलिंगाय नमः। ओम रहस्यलिंगाय नमः। ओम सत्यदीपोध्वर्षलिंगाय नमः। ओम नागलिंगाय नमः। ओम तेजोलिंगाय नमः। ओम ऊर्ध्वलिंगाय नमः। ओम अथर्वलिंगाय नमः। ओम सामलिंगाय नमः। ओम यज्ञांगलिंगाय नमः। ओम यज्ञलिंगाय नमः। ओम तत्वबलिलिंगाय नमः। ओम देवलिंगाय नमः। ओम विग्रहलिंगाय नमः। ओम भवलिंगाय नमः। ओम रजोलिंगाय नमः। ओम सत्वलिंगाय नमः। ओम स्वर्णलिंगाय नमः। ओम स्फटिकलिंगाय नमः। ओम भवलिंगाय नमः। ओम त्रैगुण्यलिंगाय नमः। ओम मंत्रलिंगाय नमः। ओम पुरुषलिंगाय नमः। ओम सर्वात्मलिंगाय नमः। ओम सर्वलोकांगलिंगाय नमः। ओम बुद्धिलिंगाय नमः। ओम अहंकारलिंगाय नमः। ओम भूतलिंगाय नमः। ओम महेश्वरलिंगाय नमः। ओम सुंदरलिंगाय नमः। ओम सुरेश्वरबलिंगाय नमः। ओम सुरेशलिंगाय नमः। ओम महेशलिंगाय नमः। ओम शंकरलिंगाय नमः। ओम दानवनाशलिंगाय नमः। ओम रविचंद्रलिंगाय नमः। ओम रूपलिंगाय नमः। ओम प्रपंचलिंगाय नमः। ओम विलक्षणलिंगाय नमः। ओम तापनिवारणलिंगाय नमः। ओम स्वरूपलिंगाय नमः। ओम सर्वलिंगाय नमः। ओम प्रियलिंगाय नमः। ओम रामलिंगाय नमः। ओम मूर्तिलिंगाय नमः। ओम महोत्तनलिंगाय नमः। ओम वेदांतलिंगाय नमः। ओम विश्वेश्वरलिंगाय नमः। ओम योगलिंगाय नमः। ओम हृदयलिंगाय नमः। ओम चिन्मयलिंगाय नमः। ओम चिद्यलिंगाय नमः। ओम महादेवबलिंगाय नमः। ओम लंकापुरलिंगाय नमः। ओम ललितलिंगाय नमः। ओम चिदंबरलिंगाय नमः। ओम नारदसेवितलिंगाय नमः। ओम कबललिंगाय नमः। ओम कैलासलिंगाय नमः। ओम करुणारसलिंगाय नमः। ओम शांतलिंगाय नमः। ओम गिरिलिंगाय नमः। ओम वल्लभलिंगाय नमः। ओम शंकरात्मजलिंगाय नमः। ओम सर्वजनी पूजितलिंगाय नमः। ओम सर्वपातकनाशलिंगाय नमः। ओम गौरीलिंगाय नमः। ओम वेदस्वरूपलिंगाय नमः। ओम सकलजनप्रियलिंगाय नमः। ओम सकलजलक्षकलिंगाय नमः। ओम इष्टकामार्त्यफल सिद्धिलिंगाय नमः। ओम शोभितलिंगाय नमः। ओम मंगललिंगाय नमः। धूपदीपं समर्पयामि नमः। ओम धूपमाग्रापयामि वनस्पतिरसोद्भूतो गंधाढ्यो गंध उत्तमाम् आगृह सर्वदेवानां धूपोऽयं प्रतिगृहताम् धूपमाग्रापयामि नमः। दीपं दर्शयामि साजं च वर्ति साजं च वर्ति संयुक्तं वह्ननायोजितं मया दीपं गृहाण देवेश त्रैलोक्यतिमिरापहं दीपं हि परमशम्भुघृतप्रज्वलितं मया दत्तं गृहाण देवेश मम ज्ञानप्रदा भव भक्त्या दीपं प्रयक्ष्यामि देवालये परमात्मने त्राहि मां निरयार्घोया दीपज्योतिर् नमोऽस्तु ते। ॐ श्री संभवे नमः। धूपदीप निवारणाय नमः। ॐ नैवेदयामि। नैवेदयामि नमः। ॐ नमः शिवाय। ॐ नमः शिवाय। नैवेदयामि नमः। बोले उमापति महादेव की जय। Let's go to the lingam now. शिवलिंगम। ॐ नमः शिवाय। बोले उमापति महादेव की जय। नमः पार्वती पतये हर 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 महादेव शंभो। वंदे देवमापतिं सुरगुरुं वंदे जगत्कारणं वंदे पन्नगभूषणं मृगधरं वंदे सूर्यशशाङ्कवाहिनयनं वन्दे मुकुन्दप्रियं जनाश्रयं च वरदं वन्दे शिवं शङ्करं। परमासनस्थं शशिधरमुकुतं पञ्चवक्त्रं त्रिनेत्रं शूलं वज्रं च गन्धं परुषभयदं दक्षिणाङ्गे महान्तं पाशं च गन्धाधमरुकसहितं चाङ्कुशं वामभागे नानालङ्कारयुक्तं स्फटिकमलनिभं पार्वतीशं नमामि। नमः। रुद्राय ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यव उतोत इषवे नमः। नमस्ते अस्तु धन्वने बाहुभ्यां ते नमः। यात इषु शिवतमा शिवं बभूवते धनुः शिवा शरव्याया तव तया नो रुद्रमृधया। याते रुद्रशिवा तनोरघोरा पापकाशिनी तया नस्तनवाशन्तमया गिरिशन्ताभिषाक्षिः। यामीशुं गिरिशं सहस्ते विभर्षस्तवे शिवां किरित्युतां कुर्माहि गुंसीः पुरुषं जगत। शिवेन वचसा त्वां गिरिशा चावधामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगदयक्ष्मघं सुमना असता। अध्यवोचदि भक्ता प्रथमो देव्यो भिषक अहीगस्य सर्वान् जम्बयन्त सर्वाशयातु धान्यः। असो यस्ताम्रो अर्ण उत बभ्रुः सुमङ्गलः। ये चेमाग्वं रुद्रा अभिसो दिक्षोक्षिताः सहस्राक्षो वैशाग्वं हे दहीमहे। असो यो वसर्पति नीलग्रीवो विलोहितः उतेनं गोपा अदृशन्नदृशन्नुदहार्यः। उतेनं विश्वा भूतानि सदृष्टो मृदयातिनः। नमो अस्तु नीलग्रीवाय सहस्राक्षाय मीरुषे। अथो ये अस्य सत्त्वानोऽहं तेभ्यो कर्णं मह। प्रमुञ्च धन्वनस्तामवयोरात्नियोज्यां याश्च ते हस्त इषवा पराता भगवो वप। अवतत्त्वधनुस्वागं सहस्राक्ष शिधे शिधे निशेलशल्यानमुखा शिवो नः सुमना भव। विज्जं दनुः कपर्धिनो वैशल्यो वानवाग्वम् उत। अनेशन्नस्य ईशवा आभुरस्य निषङ्गतिः
याते हेतिर्मिर्दुष्टं हस्ते बभूवते ननुः तयास्मान् विश्वतस्तमयक्ष्मया परिभुज नमस्ते अस्वायुधाय नाथाय दुष्टवे उभाभ्यामुतते बाभ्यां तव धन्वने धन्वनो हेतिरस्मान् वृणक्तु विश्वतः अथो य इषुधिस्तवारे अस्मन् हि देहितम् नमः नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्रयम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकालग्निकालाय कालग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः नमो हिरण्यवाहवे स्नेनान्ये दिशां च पतये नमो नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यः पशूनां पतये नमो नमः स्वस्पिञ्जराय तुषीमते पथीनां पतये नमो नमो बब्लुषाय विद्याजिने नानां पतये नमो नमो हरिकेशायोपवीतने पुष्टानां पतये नमो नमो भवस्य हेत्ये जगतां पतये नमो नमो रुद्राय तथा विने क्षेत्राणां पतये नमो नमः सुताय हन्ताय वनानां पतये नमो नमो रोहिताय सपतये वृक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो मन्त्रिणे वानिजाय कक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो भवन्तये वारिवस्कृताय औषधीनां पतये नमो नमो कृन्दयते पथीनां पतये नमो नमः 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 समानाय निव्याधिने आव्याधिने नानां पतये नमो नमः वाय निषङ्गने स्तेनानां पतये नमो नमो निषङ्गने इषुधिमते तस्कराणां पतये नमो नमो वञ्चते परिवञ्चते स्थायुनां पतये नमो नमः निचेरवे परिचराय रण्यानां पतये नमो नमः श्रुकाभिभ्यो श्रुका तद्भयो मुष्टतां पतये नमो नमो प्रकृन्तानां पतये नमो नमः उष्णीशने गिरिचराय कलुञ्चानां पतये नमो नमः श्रीमद्भयो धन्वाभिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आतन्वानेभ्यः प्रतिदधानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आयश्चद्भयो च वो नमो नमः शिष्ट वो नमो नमः आसीनेभ्यः शयानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः जागति च वो नमो नमः सृष्टिभ्यो धन्वभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सभाभ्यः सभापतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो अश्वेभ्यो अश्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नमः आव्यादिनीभ्यो विवन्तिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः उगनाभ्यस्त्रीहत्यभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गृत्सेभ्यो गृत्सपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो व्रातेभ्यो व्रातपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गणेभ्यो गणपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो विरूपेभ्यो विश्वरूपेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः महद्भ्यः क्षुल्लकेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रतेभ्यो रथपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रतेभ्यो रथपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सेनाभ्यः सेनानिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः श्रुतिभ्यः संगृतीतृभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो नमस्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः कुल्लालेभ्यः कर्मारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः पुञ्जेष्टेभ्यो निषाधेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः इषुकृद्भयो धन्वाकृद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमो भृगुभ्यः श्वनिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः शुभभ्यः श्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नमो भवाय च रुद्राय च नमः शर्वाय च पशुपतये च नमो नीलग्रीवाय शिखितन्ताय च नमो कपर्दने च व्युक्तकेशाय च नमः सहस्राक्षाय शतधन्वने च नमो गिरीशाय श्रीविष्टाय च नमो मेधुष्टुमाय चेषुमते च नमो ओ हस्वाय च वामनाय च नमो बृह्यते च वर्षीयसे च नमो वृद्ध्याय च संवृद्धिने च नमो आग्र्याय च प्रथमाय च नमः आशवे च गिरीचाय च नमो शीघ्रियाय च शीभ्याय च नमः ऊर्म्याय च वसन्याय च नमः स्रोतस्याय च दीप्त्याय च नमो ओ ज्येष्ठाय कनिष्ठाय च नमः पूर्वजाय च परजाय च नमो मध्यमाय च पगल्भ्याय च नमो जगन्याय च बुद्धिन्याय च नमः सोभ्याय च प्रतिसर्याय च नमो याम्याय च क्षेम्याय च नमः पूर्वजाय कल्याय च नमः श्लोक्याय च वसन्याय च मान्याय च कक्ष्याय च नमः श्रवाय च प्रतिश्रवाय च नमः आशुषेनाय च ऋताय च नमः सूर्याय च विबन्धते च नमो वर्मणे च विरुतने च नमो वेल्मने च न कवचने च नमः श्रुताय च श्रुतिसेनाय च नमो दुन्दुभ्याय च हन्याय च विष्णवे च प्रमीयसे च नमो दूताय च प्रहिताय च नमो ईशिङ्गने श्रीमते च नमो तिष्टिङ्गिने च नमो चेषुरिते च नमो स्वात्विरिचे च व्यत्युरिकेशाय नमः श्रोत्याय च पत्याय च नमः कात्याय च नित्याय च सुध्याय च सरस्याय च नाद्याय च वैष्ण्याय च नमो गुप्त्याय च वेत्याय च वर्ष्याय च वर्ष्याय च नमो मेध्याय च बुद्ध्याय च नमः आग्र्याय च तप्याय च नमः वात्याय च रेष्म्याय च नमो वास्तुकाय च वास्तुपाय च नमः सोमाय च रुद्राय च नमस्ताम्राय च रुण्याय च नमः शङ्कराय च पशुपतये च नमः उग्र्याय च भीम्याय च नमो आग्रे वधाय च दूरे वधाय च नमो हन्त्रे च हनीयसे च नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमस्ताराय नमः शम्भवे च मयोभवे च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च नमः स्तिप्याय च कुल्याय च नमः पार्याय च वार्याय च प्रतरणाय च चोतरणाय च नमः आतर्याय च लात्याय च नमः शास्याय च फेन्याय च नमः सिकताय च प्रवहाय च नमः ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यव उतोत इषभे नमः नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् ॐ नमस्ते अस्तु ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यव उतोत इषभे नमः नमस्ते अस्तु धन्वने बाहुभ्यामुते नमः याते इषु शिवतमा शिवं बभूवते धनुः शिवा शरभ्याय तव तया नो रुद्रमृदया याते रुद्रशिवा तनूरघोरा पापकाशिनी तया नस्तनवा शन्तमया गिरिशन्ताभिशाखिषिः यामीशुं गिरिशं तहस्ते विवर्षस्तवे शिवां कृत्युतां कुर्माहि वंसीः पुरुषं जगता शिवेन वचसा त्वागिरिशा चावधामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगदयक्ष्मघं सुमना असता अध्यवोचति भक्ता प्रथमोऽधेभ्योऽभिषक अहीगश्च सर्वा आञ्जम्बयन्तु सर्वा आश्रयातु धान्यः असो यस्ताम्रो अर्ण उत बभ्रुः सुमङ्गलः ये क्षेमागं रुद्र अभितो दिक्षोक्षिताः सहस्राक्षो वैशागं हेदहीमहे असो यो वसर्पति नीलग्रीवो विलोहितः उतेनं गोपा अदृशन्नदृशन्नुदहार्यः उतेनं विश्वाभूतानि सुदृष्टो मृदयातिनः नमो अस्य नीलग्रीवाय सहस्राक्षाय मीदुषे अथो ये अस्य सत्त्वा नोऽहं तेभ्यो कर्णं महा प्रमुञ्च धन्वरस्तमुभयोरात्मीयोर्ज्यां याश्च ते हस्त इषवा पराता भगवो वपा अवदत्त्वधनुस्त्वागं सहस्राक्षा शुधे शुधे शैलशल्यानां मुखा शिवो नः सुमना भव विजं धनुः कपर्दिनो विशल्यो वा नवागुम् उत अनेशन्नस्य ईशवा आभुरस्या निषङ्गतिः याते हेतिर्मृदुष्टं हस्ते बभूवते धनुः तयास्मान् विश्वतस्तमयक्ष्मया परिभुजा अस्वायुधाय नाथधाय हृष्टवे उभाभ्यामुतते बाहुभ्यां तव धन्वने परिते धन्वनो हेतिरस्मान् वृणक्तु विश्वतः अथो य इषुधिस्तवारे अस्मन् हि देहितं शम्भवे नमः नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकालग्निकालाय कालग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः नमो हिरण्यबाहवे स्नेनान्ये दिशां च पतये नमो नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यः पशूनां पतये नमो नमः तस्मिञ्जराय तुषीमते पथीनां पतये नमो नमो बब्लुषाय विद्यादिने नानां पतये नमो नमो हरिकेशायोपवीतने पुष्टानां पतये नमो नमो भवस्य हेते जगतां पतये नमो नमो रुद्राय तदाविने क्षेत्राणां पतये नमो नमः सूताय हन्ताय वनानां पतये नमो नमो रोहिताय सपतये वृक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो मन्त्रिणे वाणिजाय कक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो भुवन्तये वारिवस्कृतायोषधीनां पतये नमो नमः कृत्सवीताय धावते सत्त्वनां पतये नमः नमः समानाय निव्याजिने आव्याजिने नानां पतये नमो नमः ककुभाय निषङ्गने स्तेनानां पतये नमो नमो निषङ्गन इषुधीमते तस्कराणां पतये नमो नमो वञ्चते परिवञ्चते सायूनां पतये नमो नमो निचेरवे परिचराय रण्यानां पतये नमो नमः श्रुकाविभ्यो ऋगाग्वंसद्भयो मुष्टतां पतये नमो नमो समद्भ्यो दक्षिणभ्यः प्रकिन्तानां पतये नमो नमः उष्णीशने गिरिचराय कुलुञ्चानां पतये नमो नमः इषुमद्भयो दन्वाविभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आतन्वानेभ्यः प्रतिदधानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आयश्चद्भयो वृषिजद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमो अश्वभ्यो विदिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आसीनेभ्यः शयानेभ्यश्च वो नमः शुभाभ्यो जागतीभ्यश्च वो नमो नमस्तिष्ठिभ्यो धन्वाविभ्यश्च वो नमः शुभाभ्यः सपाप्रतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो अश्वेभ्यो अश्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नमः आव्यादिनेभ्यो विवन्तीभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः उगनाभ्यस्त्रिहतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो कृत्सेभ्यो कृत्सपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो व्रातेभ्यो व्रातपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गणेभ्यो गणपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो विरूपेभ्यो विश्वरूपेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो महद्भ्यः क्षुल्लकेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रथेभ्यो रथपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रथेभ्यो रथपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सेनाभ्यः सेनानिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः कृतभ्यः सङ्गतीतृभ्यश्च वो नमो नमस्तिष्ठेभ्यो रथकारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः कुल्लालेभ्यः कर्मारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः कुञ्जेष्टेभ्यो निषाधेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः इषुकृद्भयो दन्वाकृद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमो भृगुभ्यः श्वनिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः शुभाभ्यः शुपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नमो भवाय च रुद्राय च नमः शर्वाय च पशुपतये च नमो नीलग्रीवाय शिखदन्ताय च नमो कपर्दने च वृक्तकेशाय च नमः सहस्राक्षाय शतधन्वने च नमो गिरीशाय च शिपिविष्टाय च नमो मेरुष्टमाय चेषुमते च नमो हस्वाय च वामनाय च नमो बृह्यते च वर्षीयसे च नमो वृद्ध्याय च संविद्धिने च नमो आग्र्याय च प्रथमाय च आशवे च जिरीचाय च नमः शीघ्रियाय च शीव्याय च ऊर्म्याय च वसन्याय च नमः स्रोतस्याय च दीप्याय च नमस्तिकाय नमः ॐ मूर्धये नमः ऊर्ध्वलिङ्गाय नमः हिरण्याय नमः हिरण्यलिङ्गाय नमः सुवर्णाय नमः स्वर्णलिङ्गाय नमः दिव्याय नमः भवाय नमः भवलिङ्गाय नमः शर्वाय नमः शर्वलिङ्गाय नमः शिवाय नमः ज्वलाय नमः ज्वललिङ्गाय नमः आत्माय नमः आत्मलिङ्गाय नमः परमाय नमः परमलिङ्गाय नमः एतत् सोमस्य सूर्यस्य सर्वलिङ्ग स्थापयति पानिमन्त्रं पवित्रं सज्जोजातं प्रबध्यामि सज्जोजाताय वे नमो नमः भवे भवे नाति भवे भवस्य मां भवोर्भवाय नमः वामदेवाय नमो ज्येष्ठाय नमो श्रेष्ठाय नमो रुद्राय नमः कालाय नमः कलविकर्णाय नमो बलविकर्णाय नमो बलाय नमो बलप्रपन्नाय नमो सर्वभूतदमनाय नमो मनोमनाय नमः अघोरेभ्यो तघोरेभ्यो अघोरघोरतरेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यो सर्वेभ्यो देवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्रः प्रचोदयात् सर्वविद्यानाम् ईशान सर्वभूतानां ब्रह्माधिपतिर्ब्रह्मणोऽधिपतिर्ब्रह्मा शिवो मे अस्तु सदा शिवो हर हर महादेव Mahaves Nibati Maha Bhave cha me Shambhagraya cha Namaskaraya cha Shivaya cha Shivataraya cha Kajalam Ujjayana Mahakalam Samcha Shankaram Setu Bandritu Ramesham Udamitate Jyotirlingani
The children can please come up here, chorus. बोले सत्यनारायण स्वामी की, बोले सत्यनारायण स्वामी की, सत्यनारायण स्वामी की जय हो. We do Satyanarayan Bhagavan Puja now. The devotees will participate. ओम। ओम नमो नारायण। ओम नमो नारायण। ओम नमो ओम नमो नारायण। 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 ध्याये सत्यं गुणातीतं गुणत्रय समन्वितं लोकनाथं त्रिलोकेशं कौस्तुभावर्णं हरिं नीलवर्णं पीतवस्त्रं श्रीमत्सपथभूषितं गोविन्दं गोकुलानन्दं ब्रह्मा धैरपि पूजयेत्। श्री सत्यनारायणे नमः। ध्यानं समर्पयामि। बोले सत्यनारायण स्वामी की। ओम। आवाहनम। नानारत्नसमायुक्तं कार्तस्वरभूषितं आसनं देवदेवस्य प्रीत्यर्थं प्रतिगृहताम्। ओम श्री सत्यनारायणे नमः। आवाहनं समर्पयामि। नमः। आसनं समर्पयामि। नानारत्नसमायुक्तं कार्तस्वरभूषितं आसनं देवदेवस्य प्रीत्यार्थं प्रतिगृहताम्। ओम सत्यनारायणे नमः। आसनं समर्पयामि। नमः। पाद्यं नारायणं नमस्तेषु नरकार्णवतारक पाद्यं गृहाण देवेश मम सौख्य विवर्धय। ओम श्री सत्यनारायणे नमः। पाद्यं समर्पयामि। अर्घ्यं व्यक्ता स्वरूपाय ऋषिकपतये नमः। मया निवेदितो भक्त्या अर्घ्योऽयं प्रतिगृहताम्। ओम श्री सत्यनारायणे नमः। अर्घ्यं समर्पयामि। नमः। आचमन। मंदक्या मंदाकिन्यस्तु यत्वारि सर्वपापहरं शुभं तदिदं कल्पितं देव सम्यगाच्छम्यतां मया इति आचमनीयं समर्पयामि नमः स्नानं पञ्चमृतं देव गृहाण पुरुषोत्तमम् अनाथनाथ सर्वज्ञ गीर्वाण प्रणता प्रिय इति पञ्चामृतं समर्पयामि। गंगाजल गंगे च यमुने चैव गोदावरी सरस्वती नर्मदा सिन्धु कावेरी जलेऽस्मिन् सन्निधिं कुरु इति शुद्धोदक स्नानं समर्पयामि नमः। Everybody, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana. Vastram, clothing. Om iti Veda Sukta Samayukte Yagyasam Samanvite Veda Sukta Samayukte Yagyasam Samanvite Sarvavarna Prade Deva Vasasi Pratigrahatam. Everybody, Om Namo Narayana, 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 Om Namo Narayana. Chandanam samarpayami namaham. Om Brahma iti Srikhanda Chandanam Divyam Kandhadhyam Sumanoharam Vilepanam Surasrishta Chandanam Pratigrahatam Iti Chandanam Samarpayami Namaha. Pushpamalam Jatubhyam Namaha. Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana. Mallikadhini Sugandhini Malatyadhini Vai Prabhu Maya Hritani Pujartham Pushpani Pratigrahatam Iti Pushpam Samarpayami Namah. Archana, 108 names of the Lord. If anyone wants to do Archana, please come as well and participate as we glorify Bhagwan Satya Narayan. 108 names. Om Satya Devaya Namah. Om Satyatmane Namah. Om Satya Bhutaye Namah. Om Satya Purushaye Namah. Om Satyanathaye Namah. Om Satya Sakshine Namah. Om Satya Yogaye Namah. Om Satya Jnanaye Namah. Om Satya Jnana Priyaye Namah. Om Satya Nidhaye Namah. Om Satya Sambhavaye Namah. Om Satya Prabhuve Namah. Om Satyeshwaraye Namah. Om Satya Karmane Namah. Om Satya Pavitraye Namah. Om Satya Mangalaye Namah. Om Satya Garbhaye Namah. Om Satya Prajapataye Namah. ओम सत्यविक्रमाय नमः। ओम सत्यसिद्धाय नमः। ओम सत्याच्युताय नमः। ओम सत्यवीराय नमः। ओम सत्यबोधाय नमः। ओम सत्यधर्माय नमः। ओम सत्याग्रजाय नमः। ओम सत्यसंतुष्टाय नमः। ओम सत्यवराहाय नमः। ओम सत्यपारायणाय नमः। ओम सत्यपूर्णाय नमः। ओम सत्यौषधाय नमः। ओम सत्यशाश्वताय नमः। ओम सत्यप्रवर्धनाय नमः। ओम सत्यविभवे नमः। ओम सत्यज्येष्ठाय नमः। ओम सत्यश्रेष्ठाय नमः। ओम सत्यविक्रमणे नमः। ओम सत्यधन्वने नमः। ओम सत्यमेधाय नमः। ओम सत्याधीशाय नमः। ओम सत्यकृतवे नमः। ओम सत्यकालाय नमः। ओम सत्यवत्सलाय नमः। ओम सत्यवसवे नमः। ओम सत्यमेघाय नमः। ओम सत्यरुद्राय नमः। ओम सत्यब्रह्मणे नमः। ओम सत्यामृताय नमः। ओम सत्यवेदांगाय नमः। ओम सत्यचतुरात्मने नमः। ओम सत्यभोत्रे नमः। ओम सत्यशुचये नमः। ओम सत्यार्जिताय नमः। सत्येन्द्राय नमः। ओम सत्यसर्गाय नमः। ओम सत्यस्वर्गयाय नमः। ओम सत्यनियमाय नमः। ओम सत्यमेधाय नमः। सत्यवेद्याय नमः। ओम सत्यपीयूषाय नमः। सत्यमयाय नमः। ओम सत्यमोहाय नमः। सत्यसुरानंदाय नमः। सत्यसागराय नमः। ओम सत्यतपसे नमः। सत्यसिंहाय नमः। सत्यमृगाय नमः। सत्यलोकपालकाय नमः। सत्यस्थिताय नमः। ओम सत्यदिक्पालकाय नमः। सत्यधनुर्धराय नमः। ओम सत्याम्बुजाय नमः। सत्यवाक्याय नमः। सत्यगुरवे नमः। सत्यन्याय नमः। ओम सत्यसाक्षिणे नमः। सत्यसंवृताय नमः। ओम सत्यसंप्रदाय नमः। सत्यवहनये नमः। ओम सत्यवायुवे नमः। सत्यशिखराय नमः। सत्यानंदाय नमः। ओम सत्याधिराजाय नमः। सत्यचीपादाय नमः। ओम सत्यगुह्याय नमः। सत्योदराय नमः। ओम सत्यहृदयाय नमः। सत्योदराय नमः। ओम सत्यकमलाय नमः। सत्यनालाय नमः। सत्यहस्ताय नमः। सत्यवाहवे नमः। ओम सत्यमुखाय नमः। सत्यजिह्वाय नमः। सत्यतोष्टाय नमः। ओम सत्यनाशिकाय नमः। सत्यश्रोत्राय नमः। सत्यचक्षसे नमः। ओम सत्यशिरसे नमः। सत्यमुकुताय नमः। सत्याम्बराय नमः। सत्याभरणाय नमः। सत्यायुधाय नमः। सत्यश्रीवल्लभाय नमः। सत्यगुप्ताय नमः। ओम सत्यपुष्कराय नमः। सत्याधृदाय नमः। ओम सत्यभामावतारकाय नमः। सत्यग्रहरूपिणे नमः। सत्यप्रहरणायुधाय नमः। ओम श्री सत्यनारायणे नमः इति अष्टोशतनामावाली पुष्पं समर्पयामि। गुड, वेरी गुड। अगरबत्ती धूपदीपं समर्पयामि। नमः। वनस्पतिरसोद्भूतो गन्धाढ्यो गन्ध उत्तमामागृह सर्वदेवानां धूपोऽयं प्रतिगृह्यतां धूपदीपनिवारणाय नमः। ओम साजं च वर्ति संयुक्तं वह्निनायोजितं मया दीपं गृहाण देवेश त्रैलोक्यतिमिरापहं धूपदीपनिवारणं महाप्रसादम्। ओम घृत्पङ्कहविष्याणां पायसं च शर्करं नानाविधं च नैवेद्यं विष्णुमे प्रतिगृह्यताम्। ओम श्री सत्यनारायणे नमः नैवेद्यं समर्पयामि। नमः। घृत्पङ्कहविष्याणां पायसं च शर्करं नानाविधं च नैवेद्यं विष्णुमे प्रतिगृह्यताम्। आचमन्यं समर्पयामि सर्वपापहरं दिव्यं गाङ्गेयं निर्मलं जलम् आचम्यतां मया दत्तं गृह्यतां पुरुषोत्तम इति आचमन्यं समर्पयामि। नमः। ताम्बूलं लवङ्गकर्पूरसंयुक्तं ताम्बूलं सुरपूजितं प्रीत्यर्थगृहाण देवेश मम सौख्यविवर्धय। ताम्बूलफलं समर्पयामि। या फली निर्या फला पुष्पा यश्च पुष्पिनीं बृहस्पति प्रसुता स्थानुमुञ्चन्तु गंहसां हिरण्यगर्भा समवर तथाग्रे भूतस्य जाता पतिरेक आसीन् सदाधार पृतविन्ध्यामुते मां कस्मै देवाय हविषा विधेमम् यानि कानि च पापानि जन्मान्तरकृतानि च तानि सर्वाणि नश्यन्तु प्रदक्षिणां पदे पदे प्रदक्षिणां पदे पदे। ॐ नमो नारायणाय ॐ नमो नारायणाय तुलसी पत्र प्रिया पत्रं समर्पयामि नमः। Give flowers, clasp hands, everybody, clasp your hands wherever you're sitting, and we meditate on Bhagavan Satya Narayan Swami. It's a very powerful puja we always do, and let us give him thanks and praise now. Om Shantakaram Bhujagshayinam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gaganasadrisham Meghavarnam Shubhangam Lakshmikantam Kamalanayanam Yogibirdhyanagamyam Bande Vishnum Bhavabhayaharam Sarvalokaikkanatham Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darsitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Amogham Pundrikaksham Nrisamham Deta Sudhanam Rishikesham Jagannatham Bhagisham Vardayakam Gunatrayam Gunatitam Govindam Garudadvajam Janardhanam Janatitam Janaki Vallabham Harim Pranamami Sada Bhaktya Narayana Matah Param Durgame Vishame Ghore Shatrubhi Paripidite Nistarasya Sarveshu Tathagnirбhayeshu cha Namanyetani Sankirtya Ipsitam Phalamapnuyat Satyanarayanam Devam Vandeham Kamadam Prabhum Leelaya Vitatam Vishwam Yena Tasmai Namo Namaha. Nilambuja Shamalakomalangam Sita Samarupitu Vamabhagam Pano Mahasayak Charuchapam Namami Ramam Raghuvan Sanatam Sita Rama Gunagrama Punyaranya Viharino Vande Vishuddha Vigyano Kabishwara Kapishwaro Shri Raghavam Dashratatmajam Prameyam Sita Patim Raghukulan Vayam Ratnadipam Dheyam Sada Savitrimandala Madhyavartim Narayanaya Sarisija Sarisannivishta Keyuravana Karakundalavan Kiriti Hare Hiranmayava Puragritasham Kachakra. Om Namo Narayanaya Om Namo Narayanaya Om Namo Narayanaya Jai Jaikar Karo रे प्रभु जी। नैया पार करे, take us across this ocean, O Prabhu, this ocean of life. नैया पार करेंगे सभी की, नैया पार करेंगे सभी की। जय जयकार करो रे प्रभु जी, जय जयकार करो रे प्रभु जी। नैया पार करेंगे सभी की, नैया पार करेंगे सभी की। जय जयकार करो रे प्रभु जी, जय जयकार करो रे प्रभु जी। Everybody, सत्य नारायण नारायण नारायण, सत्य नारायण नारायण नारायण, सत्य नारायण नारायण नारायण, सत्य नारायण नारायण नारायण। भक्ति से जिसमें शीश यहाँ चरणों में झुकाया प्रभु के, भक्ति से जिसमें शीश जहाँ चरणों में चढ़ाया प्रभु के, उस पर होती प्रभु की कृपा, उस पर होती प्रभु जी की कृपा। सब कामना होती पूरी, सब कामना होती पूरी। जय जयकार करो रे प्रभु जी, जय जयकार करो रे प्रभु जी। सत्य नारायण नारायण नारायण, 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 स्वामी 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 नारायण नारायण नारायण। बोले सत्यनारायण स्वामी की जय, श्री महाविष्णु भगवान की जय। ओम नमो नारायणाय, बोले उमापति महादेव की जय। Today we not only bow to Satyanarayan Bhagwan, but this evening we bow down first to Bhagwan Shivji. This evening we did Pradosh Puja. We did not do, a Pradosh Puja takes 3 hours to do, but we did some elements of it. 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 we did some elements of it, which is the sthapana of the 108 lingams into the Shankha. And when all that energy came into the Shankha, we bade Bhagwan Shivji. Shivji and Narayana, they are inseparable. They are inseparable. Let us not forget, when Bhagwan Sri Ram was building the bridge to Lanka, Bhagwan Sri Ram is who? Bhagwan Sri Ram is Narayana. As he finished building the bridge to Lanka, he told Hanumanji and others around him that it is time for him to do something important in this spot. To do something important, to do a puja. Many people, when we buy a car, before we move into a new home, we have to give thanks to Bhagwan and seek the blessings of the Lord. Give the Lord thanks and prayers. Seek the Lord's permission to live in our home. Hindu people, we just don't buy a home like that and move into it. We seek the Lord's permission first. Why? Because everything that we have belongs to Prabhu. Before the Lord could have used that bridge, what did he do? Lingatapi vidhivati kar puja Shiva samana priya mohina duja Shiva drohi mama bhagati kahava सोनर सपने हूँ मोही न पावा लिंग थापी विधिवती कर पूजा शिव समान प्रिय मोही न दूजा लिंग थापी this is Tulsidas Ji's words. He said लिंग थापी विधिवती कर पूजा. At this most auspicious spot, I would like to do a sthapana of a lingam. Bhagwan Sri Ram, you know what he did? He sent Hanumanji to go fetch a lingam. ये लिंगम कहाँ से आया? रामेश्वर लिंग कहाँ से आया? जानते हैं पंडित जी? रामेश्वर लिंगम कहाँ से आया? पता नहीं? वाराणसी से. हाँ? Bhagwan Ram sent Hanumanji to bring a lingam. Hanumanji went to Varanasi and brought a lingam. Because Varanasi is Moksha Dwar, Mukti Dwar. It is the capital of Bhagwan Shivji's. So what happened? Hanumanji brought the lingam and Ramji Bhagwan did puja on the lingam. Linga thapi vidivata kara puja Shiva samana priya mohi na duja. He said, there is no one as dear to me as Shiva. Such a great Devata, Vishnu Bhagwan, this is doing puja to Shivji Bhagwan, sorry. There is no distinction. And one human being, when we have achieved in life, when we have gotten up in life, it does not mean that we must separate ourselves from other people. We are all blessed in our own way, and as such we must show respect and regard for each other's blessings. The mechanic, he's important in your life. Maybe you don't bow down to him, and so on. But when the car is broken down, the mechanic, if a Panditji appear in front of you and a mechanic appear in front of you, you will run to the mechanic first, right? A person with a toothache. Anybody ever got a toothache here? The children these days don't know about a toothache. Long ago, we used to have something called toothache. And first thing when you get toothache back home, what do you do? What do you do? Pull out the tooth. At least some parts of Guyana, where we grew up, you didn't have dental care. We were not rich people. So they pull out your teeth. You got something inside. Yank it out. They used to have a lot of quack dentists back then too. No quack. It means they're not real dentists. They inject your mouth with that kind of thing, pull out your teeth. If you have a toothache, and a dentist, a bad toothache, when you have a bad toothache, it rings your ears, it rings your head all over, you're done. If a dentist appear in front of you and Bhagwan appear in front of you, I am telling you, guarantee, you're going to run to hold on to the dentist first. You do that first, because he is needed. Every one of us have our specialty in life.
And we must respect each other for those specialty. Ram Bhagwan bowed to Shivji and he says, Lingatapi vidivata kara puja, Shiva samana priyamohina duja. There is no one as dear to me as Shiva. Shiva drohi mam bhagati kahava. He said that whoever shows drohi, hatred to Shivji Bhagavan, so nara sapaneu moina pava. They will never achieve me even in their dream. Aurau ek guput mat, sabahi kahau kar jor. Shankar bhajan bina nar bhagati na pavahi mor. He says, come everybody, let me teach all of you. Aurau ek guput mat. All of you come, sabahi kahau kar jor. I clasp my hands and I give you a message today. Ram Bhagwan is saying, Shankar bhajan bina nar. Without devotion to Shivji Bhagwan, bhakti na pavahi mor. You will never attain bhakti to Ramji, not even in your dreams. This is the word of the Lord, Bhagwan Narayan, Ramji himself. So we see here that devotion to Narayana starts with the devotion to Shivji Bhagwan. Shivji Bhagwan सबसे भगवान राम भगवान नारायण का प्रेमी है. निम्नगानाम यथा गंगा दैवानाम अच्युतायुतम वैष्णवानाम यथा शंभो पुराणानाम idam tatha. There is no other Vaishnava as great as Shivji. Don't ever say, I am a Krishna worship, I don't like Shiva. No. You must always love Shivji because he's the doorway. Today we did 108 shell shank dhar to Bhagwan Shiva. You know how happy he is? He's very, very happy. He's smiling. A stone can smile, a stone can become angry, a stone can smile, a stone can make you happy, a stone can make you sad. He does all of that. 108 names we called and we bade him. I want to tell you a little story. I was here very early this morning, 8 o'clock, do Navgraha Puja. Spent most of the day because they had a big function here, as you can see. And as I was driving home back, I was thinking about the puja. I was so excited because I was going to bathe my Lord with 108 Shankar. I know how happy he will be that all of you with your own hands, you bathe him. And an idea came to mind because we were looking to buy 108 Shank for the temple, and I have the devotee ready to pay. But I didn't get the Shankas yet. But you know, one thing came to mind. What if we bathe the Lord with 1,008 Shank instead of 108? I know I'm going to put my devotee in a little bit expense, but he won't mind. All of you know that every year I do 54 days of sadhana to Shivji before Shivaratri. 54 days before Shivaratri, every morning I'm here. Winter or snow or whatever it is, 1 feet snow and everything, I'm here 5 o'clock in the morning. 54 days. And every morning I chant the Shiva Sahasranam, the 1,000 names of Lord Shiva. And on Shivaratri morning we chant the 54th Shiva Sahasranam. And then people offer one lotus on him. You know when the 54 days starts this year? For next year? December 27th. Happy New Year. It starts on December 27th. The God cannot put you to test more than that. He can't put you to test more than that. So December 27th, my sadhana starts to him. 54 mornings, 5 o'clock, Shiva Sahasranam. And on Shivaratri morning, what my desire is, as we call the 1,000 names of Shiva, we should bathe him with 1,000 Shank of water. 1,000 Shank of water. Place the phone call. 1,000 Shank is ready. Available in Canada. And the cost for one is $3. We have to buy 1,100 because one took a broke. So imagine what that will be on Shivaratri morning. It's a Saturday morning when we can assemble here. Can you imagine if we have 1,000 people to bathe the Lord with one Shank? How much blessing that going to be? Free of cost? 1,000 people from all parts of Brampton will come, or Scarborough, take one Shank in the hand and bathe Shiva on Shivaratri morning. You know what a blessing that is? Shiv Puja should never ever be underestimated, because it is the doorway to mukti. It is the doorway to liberation. Today is Pradosh in the month of Kartik, which is a very holy, a very blessed day. Let us not ever take our blessings for granted, because it means so much. So I'm so happy to see so many of you on a Saturday evening at the temple. You know, on an evening when you could be all over the place, you're here in the temple for Narayan Katha. So let me don't deny you any further. Tonight we're going to go into the third adhyay. Third adhyay is very straightforward, but it's very meaningful. Now let me test you a little bit. The first day, what we talked about? Anybody know what we talked about first day? Who came? Naraji came to the earth, and he saw what was happening. He was not too happy about it. So what did he do? He went back to Narayan Bhagwan, and he said, Satya Narayan, tell me of a remedy. Satya Narayan Bhagwan gave him Satya Narayan Katha. Last night, do you know the name of the person who did the 4 Satya Narayan Katha on this earth? Who was he? Shatanand. And he's from Panditji's village, Varanasi. His name was Shatanand. Shatanand was who was he? Who was Shatanand? Are bhai, next boat? No, I'm talking about this boat. Who was he, Shatanand? He was a bhikari, he was a beggar. And after he performed the puja, every month what happened to him afterwards? He became Dhana Sampatti, became very rich. Very, very rich. And one day as he was performing the puja in his home, who came to him and saw the puja? Lakrihar. Who is a Lakrihar? Woodcutter. The woodcutter saw him. The woodcutter said, what are you doing? He said, I'm performing Satyanarayan Puja. He also went home, performed Satyanarayan Puja. He had children, he had wealth in abundance. Bhagwan Satyanarayan, Jo dhyave phal pave, dukh bin se man ka, sukh sampatti ghar ave, kasht mite tan ka, Om Jai Jagadish Hare. Jo dhyave phal pave. Whatever fruits you deserve, he will bless you. Dukh bin se man ka. We will never live without sorrows, but if it comes, we will know how to handle what he blesses us with. Sukh sampatti ghar aave. Happiness and richness will come in your home and in your life. Kashtamite tanaka. And difficulties will be destroyed. Om Jai Jagadish Hare. When we pray to Bhagwan Narayana. The woodcutter became so rich. So many children. The Brahman first who was begging, he became Sudama in his next birth, close to Krishna. Now what happens? This next adhyay, we will learn that when you make a promise to God, you must always do your best to fulfill it. This is the message of this katha, because you know, God does have a way of straightening our life sometimes. So what happens here? Shriman Narayan, 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 Shriman Narayan, 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 Shriman Narayan, 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 Shriman Narayan, 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 Satya Narayan, 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 Satya Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. Punaragre pravakshami shrunudhyam munisatama puralok Pura chok mukhe nama nris samgha sadhyamati jitendriya satyavadi yayo devalayam prati dine dine dhanam dattva dvijam santoshayat suti bharya tasya pramugdha cha sarojavandhana sati bhadrashila nadi tiro सन्न्यस्य भ्रमराचितात् सत्यनारायण नारायण नारायण 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 नावं संस्थाप्य तीरो जज्ञां निपन्ति प्रति दृष्ट्वा साव्रतितं भूषं प्रपच्च विनयान्विता किमिदं कुरुषे राजन् भक्तियोगेन चेतसा प्रकाशं कुरु तत्सर्वं श्रोतुमिच्छामि सम्प्रदम् श्रीमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण श्रीमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण श्रीमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण श्रीमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण सत्यनारायण नारायण नारायण सत्यनारायण नारायण नारायण बोले सत्यनारायण स्वामी की. There was once a king. There was once a king by the name of Ulka Mukh. Suji Maharaj asked Saunak ji, says, Saunak ji, what else do you want to hear? Saunak ji and the 88,000 rishis says, Maharaj, we have heard last night about Lakrihar. We have heard last night about Brahmana. All of them became so rich and so elevated in life. Tell us more about this Katha. तो महाराज ने कहा, सूजी महाराज ने कहा कि एक नगर में उल्का मुख नाम करके राजा था. वह कैसा राजा था कि सब इंद्रियों के बस में कर रखा था और सच्चा बोलने वाला और देवता को मंदिर में नित्य जाने वाला था. वह नित्य देवालय में जाकर इतना धन दान करता जिससे बहुत से ब्राह्मणों को संतोष हो जाता था. ऐसा जो उल्का मुख राजा, उसकी स्त्रियों युवावस्था और कमल ऐसा बदन है जिसका और प्रतिव्रता कैसे पतिव्रत की है. Once upon a time, there was a king by the name of Ulka Mukh. He was a king. And he was performing the puja of Satyanarayan Bhagavan in his palace. You see here, the first person to perform Satyanarayan puja was a beggar. Second person to perform Satyanarayan Katha was a woodcutter. Third person performing Satyanarayan Katha is a king. The Lord is accessible to the beggars, to the woodcutters, to the kings. The Lord is accessible to the poor and to the rich. He is accessible to all castes. Ulka Mukh Raja was performing this puja. And while he was performing the puja, the song was so beautiful. The Panditji was narrating the Katha so nicely. All the mantras were chanted so beautiful, just like we did here today. And what happened? Sadhuruvacha, a merchant was coming by. He was there to do trading. This merchant had a wife, but they had no children. And what happened? He heard the beautiful song of the Katha. It's happened one time I went to Vrindavan. There was about 10,000 people sitting together. People say Indian people are like sit down. So, no, sit down. 10,000 people sat under a big tent. And we were passing by for darshan. I stopped by and said, what's going on there? I thought it was a political rally. 10,000 people. That is a small crowd for a Katha. And of course, the Lord's Katha, when you hear Kirtan, when you hear Bhajan, when you hear harmonium and tabla, and the Vyasji is narrating beautiful Katha, Which devotee will not be drawn to it? Some people run away from it, some people will be drawn to it. I left my work, I went for Katha. Sit at the back, beautiful Katha. The same man that was narrating that Katha, Thakur Krishna Chandra Shastri Ji, he came to this mandir and he narrated 7 days of Bhagavad Katha as well when we started here. Beautiful. 10,000 people. Not 100, 10,000. Beautiful, beautiful. When the Katha is narrated, it draws people. How many people are online today? It's a Saturday night, they cannot do anything else. They are here, you couldn't go anywhere else because Auntie Kamal would have tell you didn't come to my puja. So you're here tonight. The Katha has drawn you to our presence here. When the merchant heard the Katha was going on, Kimidam kuruse rajan bhiyuktena chetasa prakasham kurutat sarvam srutumichhami samprada. He went and he sit down a little bit, you know puja and thing. When the Raja done, Ulka Mukh Raja. Ulka Mukh is mentioned in all the artis and so on in the Katha. When Ulka Mukh Raja finished, he went and he says, Are Sadhu bhai, kya ho raha hai? Merchant ji, what's the problem? Are you okay? Pani piyo, prasad le lo. He asked the king, what did you just do there? What is that? Who's that murti standing Shankha Chakra Gada Padma and people are praying to him? What is that puja? What are the benefits? Ulka Mukh Raja ne kaha tha, pujanam kriyato sadhu Vishnur tulate jasa vratam cha swajane shadham putra dhavat pikamyayah. Itni sundar. Ulka Mukh ne kaha tha ki ye Satyanarayan Bhagwan ki puja hai. This is the puja of Satyanarayan Bhagwan. The merchant says, he's a businessman, so he says, okay, well, everybody do something, want some results. So the businessman says, no, Raja, what is the purpose of performing this puja? Raja says, putra dhavat pikamyaya. This puja blesses you with children. You remember I told you last night? Anytime before we do sanskar, yagya, Janev sanskar, when a baby is born, when a wedding is done, we always do Satyanarayan Katha. Why? Because it is his blessing that has afforded us to do what we're doing. This is our culture. You must learn our culture and practice it. You know all the culture already, but continue to practice the culture like this tradition. This Vrat Katha is the giver of children. It is the giver of wealth. When the merchant Sadhu heard that, what happened to him? Sadhu was very happy now. He said, okay. He went and he told his wife about it. And what happened? Bhuyasya vachanam shrutva sadhu pravecha sadaram sarvam katham nirmoye rajan karishyeham tadodivam. He went and he told his wife. His wife's name was Lilavati. Or as we say these days, Lilavati. They have a famous song like that, but I can't sing it here. I will never sing it too. Lilavati means Lilavati. Huh? Long ago, those names were very beautiful. Right? You had the Wati, then you had the Mati as well. You know what Mati means? Mati means Mati, Buddhi. Anyway, they were beautiful names. They're not too modern, but they were nice names. His wife was Lilavati. He told his wife about this puja. His wife was excited. Come, let's go do the puja. But Sadhu is a businessman. Sadhu says, Lilavati, here what happened. If Satyanarayan Bhagwan give us a child, then we will do the puja. He's a smart man, If Satyanarayan Bhagwan give us a child, then we will do the puja. Lilavati said, Acha, Swami, koi baat nahi. Iti Lilavati prahi patnam sadhu sasattamam. Eka kasmin devase tasya bharya Lilavati satim. Then what happened? What happened? The Lord saw a man in need. The Lord saw a family in need. You know what the Lord did? The Lord blessed that family with that need. Sukh sampatti data. Satyanarayan Bhagwan, because he is Bhagavan, he has no vices, he has no opposites and all these things. He blessed the family with a girl child. When the girl child was born, they named her Kalavati. Areva? Mother name Lilavati, daughter name Kalavati. That was a tradition back then. Mother name Lilavati, daughter name Kalavati, and next daughter name Satyavati, and another name Sitavati, and name Prabhavati, Champavati, one name Dukmati, one name Sukmati, all the Mati you have. That was a tradition back then. They only need a letter, the Vati will follow. The Vati will follow. Right? Today though, the letter has to be very short. Otherwise, it doesn't work too well. All right? Well, it doesn't work too well. All right? So, like, Dhaneshwar becomes Danny. Hardat becomes Harry. Not this one. Not this one. Right? Champavati becomes Champ. Right? So it goes on like that. I'm not saying that is bad. Hello, I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just telling you what it is. Right? You can't, people have their needs and whatever, you have to go with that. But Hardat has never become Harry. I told you that story so many times. When I started working at the bank, RBC, I was I was on the call centers. I was doing call center work. RBC customer service, this is Hardat speaking, how can I help you? That was long ago. So at that time, we were not conscious too much about culture, name, and the whole human resource thing. So the supervisor came over one day. I was through an agency. There was an agency at that time called Manpower. I don't know if you all know the agency, Manpower. Yeah, you remember? Manpower. Anyway, so I went over, and so he said, when you say welcome to this is Hardat speaking, you would probably want to try saying, this is Harry speaking, just for because it becomes easy, customers are. Me say, what? You want to change my name from Hardat to Harry? It's not even Hari, it's Harry. Right? If it was Hari, it would be Hari Bhagwan. But it's Harry. It's a tal. Not going to happen. No Harry. No. Since I was born, my dad, from the day I was born, I was given the name Hardat. And from that day, I don't know where he was. He was a place where, I can't even tell you where he was. He was in the toilet. And when he heard my name was Hardat, from the toilet he started to sing Hardat, Hardat, Hardat. All the time he started calling my name Hardat. I can't lie, Sister Day. So he'd be walking in the yard and Hardat. Just like that. Just like that. He'll be in his bed laying down because he liked to sleep. I just work night shifts, so all day lay down. Hardat. Hardat. Haridat. Baby dat. Chunka lele dat. So all his pet names he give me. So my friends would come over sometime to do homework and thing, and we'll be downstairs. Sometimes we play cricket, sometimes we practice karate, whatever. And they'll hear my dad saying, Hardat, Hardat, and they'll be saying, hey, your dad is calling you, man. Your daddy call you. I said, yeah, all right. But that's what he called me, so nobody's going to change me from Hardat to Harry. Right? So Lilavati and the merchant, let's come back to the Katha, forget about this guy. They got a daughter, her name was Kalavati. When the daughter Kalavati was born now, the wife Lilavati went to the sadhu, to the merchant, to the businessman, and he said, Ale sadhu, what happened now? After Dashame Mase Vaitasya Kanyaratna Majayata Dine Dine Savribdheda Shukla Pakshe Yatha Shashim 10 मास पूरा होने पर एक कन्या उत्पन्न हुई वहाँ कैसे कन्या उत्पन्न हुई कि रत्न स्वरूप लक्ष्मी स्वरूप और दिन प्रतिदिन और जैसे शुक्ल पक्ष की चंद्रमा कला कला से नित्य प्रतिवर्ते है. The daughter was born. After the daughter was born, the wife reminded him. He says, listen, don't worry too much. Viva samay twasayam karishyami vratam priye. When the girl grew up and she got married, then we're going to do the Satya Narayan Katha. The wife says, wait, you promised Bhagwan that if you have a child, you will do Satya Narayan Katha, and now you're postponing. He says, yes, we get the child already. When she married, we'll do Satya Narayan Katha, na? Viva samay tvayasam karishyami vratam priye. So the girl Kalavati now, the daughter, gets married to a nice, handsome boy. Iti bharya samascharya jagam nagaram prati tatha Kalavati kanya vibrade pitrameshani. She gets married to a handsome boy now. And what happens as they get married? The wife reminded him again, we're getting married. You're going to do Vivah Sanskaran thing. Let's do the puja. He says, Are, you're worrying too much. Everything is going well. Why you want to unwell it? When she gets a baby boy or a baby girl, then we'll do Satya Narayan puja. Procrastination. Procrastination. We become a pro at postponing something. When we become a pro at postponing, procrastination is not good in any aspect of life. It is not good for your personal life. It is not good for your health. It is not good for your wealth. It is not good for your work. It's not good for your family. It's not good for you in general. Procrastination is not good. Procrastination means you postpone steady without a reason. Without a reason, right? So the girl got married. What happens now? No puja was done. Well, Bhagwan Satya Narayan Vivahayat Kanyayam Varasheshtam Vicharata. The Lord says, if everybody do that to me, if everyone does that to me, then God will be a laughing stock. Do you understand? Everybody can go now, hee ha ha, hey. I tell Satyanarayan that if I get a girl or baby child or something, you're gonna bless me. Look, I'm going on some puja. No, look, I get a child. I didn't do the puja. Nothing is wrong. Everybody's happy. Ha ha ha. The Lord says, if everyone comes to me and make a promise and a bargain, that, they want, and when I give them, they don't fulfill their promise, then God will become a mocking stock. God will become a laughing stock. The Lord says that's never going to happen. I'm going to remind this family that they have responsibilities to perform. How did he remind the family? Shriman Narayan, 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 Sriman Narayan, 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 Shriman Narayan, 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 Sriman Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. Togato nakare ramye Chandra ketur nipasya cha ekasmene vakale tu Satya Narayana Prabhu Brashti pratigyamalokan Shapam tasme phadatvaman Darunam katitam chadasya mahadukam bhavishyati Shriman Narayan, 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 Shriman Narayan, 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 Shriman Narayan, 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 Shriman Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. Ekasmin dvijase ragyo dhan bhadaya taskara तत्रैव वाक्य गत्योरे वनिज्यो यत्र संस्थिते श्रीमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण 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 Bhagwan is going to remind them they have a responsibilities to perform. The wedding done, the merchant, Sadhu, took his son-in-law, and they're going to go to another city to do trading, right? So they pack up the boat, lots of goods inside, lots of wealth inside, they're going to do trading. Where did they go? Tato gato nagaro rasye chandraketu nripasya cha ekasminneva kale tu Satya Narayana Prabhu. Beautiful language tells us they went to a place where the king, his name was Chandraketu. Chandraketu was ruling there. And they had to spend some extra time there. While they went away there, you know what happened to the home? With Lilavati and Kalavati, the entire wealth that they have, their home, their wealth, everything, in a snap like this, it was vanished. They had no home to live in. Listen, I don't want to be sensitive, but all of us in some way in life have lost something. I don't know. But I think that for people who have lived on this earth, there's some point in time we're going to lose something. Because that is how life works. Kabhi khona hai, kabhi pana hai. Sometimes you gain, sometimes you lose. That's how life is. Sometimes people will say, and I usually say too, when it rains, it pours. You know that saying? When it rains, it pours. You know what that means, right? You think you got one problem, more and more and more and more will come. I have said that a lot of times. I have gone to Bhole Baba and Annapurna Parvati Mata and asked them many times, Prabhu, why did you set me up? I didn't choose you, you chose me to do this. Why are you fixing all these things in my life for? And I can just see the smile on his face coming like this. Because sometimes when it rains, it pours. But a devotee of the Lord will understand that rain can be because you need to shower. That rain can be because you need to cleanse. That rain can be because you need to change your aura. That rain can be because the Bhagwan really need to test your faith, right? And he does that all the time. He does it all the time. He did that to Hanumanji how many times? When Sursa Devi and so on. You know that. What happened? They lost the wife and the daughter. They lost their home. They lost their wealth. They lost their food. They were homeless. Back then they had no WhatsApp, no telephone, nothing. They couldn't send a message to the merchant and the son-in-law who were far away, overseas. So what happened? They had to beg. The merchant's wife became a beggar. The merchant's daughter, Lilavati and Kalavati, was on the streets begging. Asmin divasya ragyo dhanamadaya taskara tatreva chagatascheva vanijo yatra sanstite. You know what happened as well? When the merchant and his son-in-law, when they went to the city of the king Chandraketu, you know what happened? There were some thieves that went into the kingdom and they stole from the king. This is Satya Narayan Katha from Skanda Puran. This is not Nancy story. Some thieves stole from the king and the thieves ran away. And when the soldiers from the kingdom were coming to chase after the thieves ran away. They caught the merchant and the son-in-law in the same direction. They said, come, are you a thief from a king? Lock you up. The merchant and the son-in-law put in prison. The merchant and his son-in-law put into prison, and across far away over the sea, the mother Lilavati and the daughter Kalavati were begging on the streets. When it rains, it pours. Satchidananda Rupaya Vishwotpatyadi Hetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Shri Krishnaya Vayam Nam. Tapatraya. You remember the 3 forms of afflictions? This is the first slok of the Padma Puran in the Bhagavatam. Tapatraya means troubles come from 3 sources. Troubles come from 3 sources. 1, by nature. Hurricane, volcano, and things like that. 2, from the people around you. People just set up people nice. You know, people set up people nice. Gossip the name, spread false news around them and things like that. And weak-minded people like, oh, true, oh my God. Right? 2, people around you that cause a lot of problems in your life. And the 3rd, Tapatraya Vinashaya, Bhagwan. Deva. The Lord reminds you that you have responsibilities to perform. When it rains, it pours. What happened here now? Taspascha dvarakan dadya drishtva bhite nachetasam dhanastam tyapya taitrityam satu shigra malakshita. No wealth, everything. There was only sorrows and sorrows and sorrows happening. Sorrows and sorrows happening. What happens now? Lilavati, the daughter, one day she was going to a home to beg. As she knocked on the doors, "Kaun hai?" "Arey main hu Lilavati, bhik mangle ke liye, I've come to beg." When they opened the doors, somebody was doing puja in their home. Somebody was doing Satyanarayan puja in their home. Lilavati saw the puja. She doesn't know much about this, but her eyes, tears ran down from her. She felt great. She cleared a little bit inside. She sat down. She watched the puja, what was going on. They couldn't disturb the puja. You know, tomorrow night, when you come, you're going to hear about puja disturbances. Puja disturbances. I don't want to give you too much, but when you sit to do your puja, you sit to do your puja. That is not just a murti you sit down in front of there. That is Bhagwan. When you and I are talking to somebody, you know, you want to give your attention to that person. When somebody come and disturb you, which is sometimes, you know, required or rude, you know, you don't feel, because you need to give your attention to somebody. 5 seconds, 2 seconds, whatever it is. When you have Bhagwan in front of you, what is going to happen? You should not look at who are coming, who not coming, how many not come. So much food may cook and look how many people come. All these things run in people's mind. Tomorrow night come, we are talking about the same family. How puja distraction can take us down. What happened? Lilavati went in the home. Puja was being done. And she waited until the puja was finished. And she felt so happy. They gave her some prasad, some water. She asked for some extra prasad to take home as well for her mother. And she stayed a bit longer. When she went home now, what happens? What happens when she went home? Mata Kavalavati Kanyam Kathayamasya Prametaha Putri Ratro Stita Kutra Kimte Manasi Vartate. The mother Kalavati was home. Lilavati was home. And she was so worried. Where's my daughter? Where's my daughter? Kimte Manasi Vartate. Her mind was uneasy. But the daughter came home. Kalavati came home, and what happens? Kanya Kalavati Praha Mataram Pratisatwaram Dujalaye Vratam Mata Dushtam Vanchita Siddhayam. He said, "Beti, where were you so long? I was looking for you. We need to go beg." He said, "Ma, not today. I have brought some prasad." "Prasad? Where did you go? What did you do?" "Ma, eat first." The mother eat the prasad. She felt nice. "Ma, I went to this place to beg. And when I opened the doors, there was this big Lord, Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, Balamana Vibhushitam, Nilam Bhujasha Malako Malangam, Sita Samarupitavama Bhagam, Pano Mahasayika Charu Chapam, Namami Ramam Raghuvansanatham. I saw this big Lord. He had 4 arms, Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. He was majestic. He looked so rich, my mother. And everyone was praying to him. They were so happy. Are Beti, what were they doing? They were doing, Ma, a puja called Satyanarayan Vrata Puja. I never heard of it, but I felt connected. Ma ne kaha tha kya? What did they do? Satyanarayan Vrata Puja, Ma. Satyanarayan Vrata Puja. That immediately created a spark for the mother Lilavati. The mother Lilavati says, "Wait. Yes, Satyanarayan Vrata Puja. Your father did make a promise, Kalavati, that when you were born, he is going to do this puja. I've heard that Bhagwan Narayan Sukha Sampatti Data, he's the giver of children, wealth and happiness. And you know, up to today, we have not done that puja." The daughter says, "What? Let's do the puja." And then what happens, my friends? After she heard that, aparadham chame bhutar matu, they sat together. They accumulated the little things. They called the Panditji and they immediately performed the puja. The Panditji chanted the 5 adhyaya of the puja. Satyanarayan Bhagwan became so pleased. You know, the wife, you have to know this. The wife alone can sit to do puja if circumstances prevent the husband from sitting, because she is dharma patni. The wife alone is permitted without much, impact. But the husband should do his best not to sit alone for puja. Without your dharma patni, your puja, God will not say, come back tomorrow, you don't have your wife. But the Lord created this arrangement that men should never ever discard of their wife, especially in time of puja. I've told you this story so many times. I've seen it in India, South India. When the men, if the wife are in bed and sick and they can't come, the men would sit to do the puja, and they will take a blouse of their wife and put it on their left-hand shoulder to do the puja. You remember what happened to Bhagwan Ram when he wanted to do Ashwamedha Yajna, but Sita Ma was in Banbas after Lava and Kush were born? After Lava and Kush were born, what happened? He had to make Sone ke Sita, not gold coated. He had to imagine the weight of Mother Sita. So if Mother Sita was, he made gold form, solid gold, and placed it beside him. And then he was able to do yajna. He was permitted to do yajna. Otherwise, this is Bhagwan Ram setting the standards here. Men, long ago, not even too long ago, men used to be in the garage sitting down with their friends, and women alone used to do the puja and things like that. Please try your best to sit as a family to do. Try your best. There are situations that will prevent you, right? And it doesn't mean you're sinning on your puja. No. Try your best to sit together as a family to do puja. Satyanarayan Bhagwan puja especially, very, very important. So what happened? The wife, Lilavati and Kalavati sat, and they did the puja. Darshayamasa Satyam Hij Chandraketu Nriponama Vandito Mochaya Pratir Vanijito. Let me read the Hindi so it will sound like, I read the right thing here. Satyanarayan Prabhu Chandraketu Raja ke swapna diye कि हे राजन प्रातःकाल उन दोनों को विनियों के बंदी खाने से छोड़ देना, और जो कुछ उन लोगों का धन ने लिया है उसे दूना करके दे देना। यदि ऐसा ना करोगे तो राज्य सहित धन पुत्र का नाश कर दूंगा. When they did the puja, Bhagwan Satyanarayan Bhagwan, the Lord requires a little bit from us. He wants just a little bit. Just do his puja a little bit. Dedicate yourself. Don't forget your promises. When they did the puja, Satyanarayan Bhagwan felt so happy. You know what the Lord did? The Lord sent a dream. The night of, he sent a dream to the king Chandraketu, who had imprisoned the son-in-law and the merchant. And what did the Lord send a message? Pratakal un dono ko baniyon ko bandikano ke chhod dena. He said, hey king, tomorrow morning I want you to release those two prisoners. The Lord sent a message. Aur jo kuch un logo ka dhan le liya, and whatever wealth they came with as well, let them go with it. Let them go with it. Yadi aisa na karonge, and if you don't do this, to raj sahit dhan putra ka nash kar dunga, then I will destroy your entire kingdom. Your children, your wealth, and everything I will destroy. There's the book. When the king got the dream, he wake up. Now please don't go ask me if your dream goat would that mean, and if your dream cat would that mean, and if your dream dog would that mean. I don't know what dream mean. I know what reality mean. Everybody understand? So I don't know to interpret dream. I just know to interpret Bhagwan. Ask me who Shivji is, I'll tell you everything. When the king had this dream, he woke up right away and he ordered his soldiers to release the two prisoners, to give them back all their wealth, done everything that they have, to let them dress as more handsome than they came. ऐसा स्वप्न राजा को देकर भगवान सत्यनारायण प्रभु का गायब हो गए. इसके बाद राजा प्रातःकाल उठकर अपने स्वजनों को सहित सभा में जाकर बैठे और रात्रि का सप्तन जो था, he give the message so to everybody. उस मंत्रियों के पंडितों से सभा के मध्य में कहा, सब लोगों ने राजा ने कहा कि हे राजन, यहाँ स्वप्न ठीक है, ऐसे ही करना चाहिए। इसके बाद दूतों को बुलाकर राजा ने कहा कि ये दोनों महाजन बिना के पुत्र वैध हैं। Let them go, dress them up, send them nice, feed them. Everybody was very happy. And what happened? जेल से छोड़कर दोनों बंदियों को ले आए हैं। इसके बाद दोनों बंदियों के राजा चंद्रकेतु के दंडवत किया। The two of them, the prisoners, they bowed down to the Raja and they thanked him. और दोनों बनिया, the two prisoners, बनिया अपना पूर्व वृतांत समझकर भय के मेरे कुछ बोल नहीं। तब राजा ने दोनों, the Raja freed them and so on. Anyway, what happened? They both were freed. They got back their wealth, all because the wife and the daughter prayed for them. Who said, or who has ever said, that one person cannot pray for another person? Who said that one person cannot pray for another person? But let me tell you a secret. Don't tell anybody though. You see, the prayer of a wife, the prayer of a mother, and the prayer of a daughter, those will never fail. When they're sincere, they will never fail. The prayer of a mother. No? Which mother here doesn't want the well-being of their children? And they've always prayed for it. It may not come right away. It may take a little bit. All of us want our own things at our own time. But the prayer of a mother never goes unanswered. Right? It never goes unanswered. It may take time to come, but it never goes unanswered. Listen, everything takes time. When the doctor finishes the most complicated surgery, he comes out and he says, I've done my best. All is up to him now. All is up to him. They'll give you antibiotic, 7-day or 10-day, whatever. You can't drink all 7 one time and expect to be cured. Gradually, the healing process happened with time. Right? Everything, remember last night, everything happens with time. A mother's prayers never goes unanswered. It just takes time. The prayer of a wife never goes unanswered. It never goes unanswered. But you got to be smart as well. You got to understand God is not, crazy. God knows if you're just going to show up one day and say, oh Lord, help me husband, help me father, and you have made no connection to the Lord, what's going to happen? The Lord takes time. This one though, the Lord rewarded Lilavati and Kalavati instantly. The next morning, the merchant and his son-in-law were relieved. They got all their merchandise, everything back. And what happened? Lilavati and Kalavati now, what happened? They were so happy. They were so happy. It so happened now that what's going to happen, that is going to the end. और वस्त्र गहना आदि लोगों को पहन करके मीठे मीठे वचन ने राजा उन लोगों का संतोष दिया और पहले का जो धन लिया रहा उसका दूना करके दिया। और राजा ने कहा कि हे साधु, तुम अपने घर जाओ। ऐसा राजा वचन सुनकर देने दोनों वैश्य को राजा ने को हाथ छोड़कर कहे कि हे राजन, आपकी आज्ञा हुई तो आपकी प्रसाद से घर तो जाते हैं। They took prasad and they went home. Lilavati and Kalavati, of course, they felt extremely pleased, and they are now going to perform the puja very, very often. Puja has an important meaning in our life. There was once upon a time when a household used to perform something called, we call it house puja. You know, house puja? A house puja. Let me remind you, when you got married, that is one of the oaths you took. If you didn't know that, that's one of the oaths you took. Tirtha vrato dhyapana yagya danam. Tirtha vrato dhyapana yagya danam mayasyatvam yadikurayeta vamanga maya me padatvadiyam jagada kanya vachanam chaturtham. The third request, the fourth request the bride makes to the groom before getting married. Tirtha vrato dhyapana yagyadanam. That if when we get married, we're going to pray. Tirtha vrato. We're going to do tirtha. We're going to do vrat. Dhyapana yagyadanam. We're going to do yagya, we're going to give charity. And we're going to do it together. Only if you promise me, groom, dulaha, that we're going to do it together, then I will marry you. Unfortunately, sometimes after they get married, they forget about that promise. Don't ever subscribe to that thing. What have we learned tonight? God is not a fool. That is a summary of tonight's katha. God is not a fool. You cannot promise God something and then consciously say, I get it done. Let me postpone it. Postpone it. Now, what happens in the case when you have consciously made a promise, right? You've consciously made a promise, but you just cannot do it, right? I promised to do a puja. You know this thing about Durga Puja, when you do it 1 year, you gotta do it every year and thing like that. That is nonsense, by the way. Don't ever tell people them kind of thing like that. What happens if you made a promise to do a puja, but then you can't do it? COVID stepped in, everybody locked up in their home, nobody can come out, Pandit can't come out, Pujari can't come out, the devotee cannot come out, Bhagwan even can't come out. What will happen then? Everybody cage up. There are circumstances that allow you to say, Prabhu, mantrahinam, kriyahinam, bhaktihinam, janadanam, kayena vacha, manasendriyarva. Prabhu, I made a promise. COVID stepped in, nobody can come do this thing. So, Prabhu, kshama karo. When time permits and everything, Panditji can come out of his house again, I will do the thing. But don't take God as a fool. God is not one of your neighbor. God is not like your cousin or your mother and father or your family or whoever it is that we fool in life. No. Bhagwan is much more than that. Bhagwan is Bhagwan, right? The Lord observes us and the Lord reminds us that we have responsibilities in life to fulfill. This family story in the Dondo, this family story continue in chapter 4. But in order to know what happened next, the merchant and the son-in-law has to go home now. They're going now back to the boat filled with wealth. And they're going to lose the boat now to jump in and sail back to the wife and the mother-in-law. What's going to happen? But I can only tell you that when you come back tomorrow night. Everybody understand? You got to come back tomorrow night for hear that. That's chapter 4 of the Satya Narayan Katha. So tonight, my friends, don't fool God. You can never fool God. When you make a promise, do your best to fulfill it. And if you can't, the Lord will understand in some way. Bole Satya Narayan Swami ki jai. I want to thank all of you for coming out this Saturday evening on our puja. Tomorrow again, 6:30 we start. We don't have details tomorrow, just regular puja. We don't have a shrota for tomorrow. If anyone wants to sit as a couple, as a family for puja tomorrow, please come and sit down. There is no charge, there is no fee, there is no sponsorship fee. If you want to give a donation, you give. If you don't want to give, God bless you still. But it's a beautiful time. Satyanarayan, is here. If you want to sit and do puja as a family, we will let you do that. So let us know. All you need to bring is a couple of fruits. And we have flowers here too, so you can, we're making this very simple and straightforward for people. Contact me tonight before we leave, for those online, or phone me or whatever it is, and we'll make arrangement. You don't have to be a sponsor, you don't have to do anything. Come and sit to do the puja. Tonight our Shrota Auntie Kamal and Lisa, we want to ask Bhagwan's blessings on them for being our Shrota and facing Bhagwan Satyanarayan. Auntie Kamal is a long devotee of Bhagwan Vishnu, Narayan Bhagwan, Satyanarayan Bhagwan. Today we ask Bhagwan's blessings on her and on Lisa as well. Bole Satyanarayan Swami ki jai. Now all those who have prasad and so on to bring, offer, please. You can go everywhere and offer your prasad, Shivji Bhagwan. Just do not put the prasad on the clothes of the Lord, because we don't want people to put food on your clothes as well. Everybody come take your darshan around the place. And Panditji then will help you to do everything. Bole Satyanarayan Bhagwan ki jai.
शाम तेरी बंसी कन्हैया तेरी बंसी पुकारे राधा नाम लोक करे मीरा तू यो ही भजना लोक करे मीरा तू यो ही भजना शाम तेरी बंसी कन्हैया तेरी बंसी शाम तेरी बंसी कन्हैया तेरी बंसी पुकारे राधा नाम लोक करे मीरा तू यो ही भजना लोक करे मीरा तू यो ही भजना शाम तेरी बंसी कन्हैया तेरी बंसी शाम तेरी बंसी कन्हैया तेरी बंसी जमुना की लहरे की बंसी बज की छैया जिसका नहीं है बोलो कृष्ण कन्हैया ओ जमुना की लहरे बंसी बज की छैया जिसका नहीं है बोलो कृष्ण कन्हैया श्याम का दीवाना कन्हैया का दीवाना श्याम का दीवाना कन्हैया का दीवाना को सारा ब्रिजना लोक करे मीरा तो यू ही भजना लोक करे मीरा तो यू ही भजना शाम तेरी बंसी कन्हैया तेरी बंसी शाम तेरी बंसी कन्हैया तेरी बंसी पुकारे राधा नाम लोक करे मीरा तो यू ही भजना लोक करे मीरा तो यू ही भजना शाम तेरी बंसी कन्हैया तेरी बंसी कौन जाने बांसुरिया जिसको बुलावे उसका नहीं है बोलो कृष्ण कन्हैया ओ कौन जाने बांसुरिया किसको बुलाए जिसका मन भावे वो शिके गुन गाए कौन नहीं बंसी कौन नहीं बंसी को प्यारा विजना राधा बाई श्याम वो तो मेरा बाई श्याम राधा बाई श्याम वो तो मेरा बाई श्याम श्याम तेरी बंसी कन्हैया तेरी बंसी श्याम तेरी बंसी कन्हैया तेरी बंसी को सारा ब्रिज धाम लोक करे मीरा तो यू ही भजना लोक करे मीरा तो
Krishna Krishna Govinda Narayana, Krishna Krishna Govinda Narayana, Krishna Rama Govinda Narayana, Krishna Rama Govinda Narayana, Krishna Krishna Govinda Narayana, Krishna Krishna Govinda Narayana, Krishna Rama Govinda Narayana, Krishna Rama Govinda Narayana. Hey Rama Govinda, hey Shama Gopala, hey Rama Govinda, hey Shama Gopala, Shri Krishna Govinda Narayana, Shri Krishna Govinda Narayana, Krishna Krishna Govinda Narayana, Krishna Krishna Govinda Narayana, Krishna Rama Govinda Narayana, Krishna Rama Govinda Narayana. Hey Madhavaya, hey Vasurevaya, hey Madhavaya, hey Vasurevaya, Murali Manohar Narayana, Murali Manohar Narayana, Krishna Krishna Govinda Narayana, Krishna Krishna Govinda Narayana, Krishna Rama Govinda Narayana, Krishna Rama Govinda Narayana, Krishna Rama Govinda Narayana, 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 Narayana.
Bole Satyanarayan Swami ki jai. Final reminder, remember November 13th is what? Hello? Very nice. And tonight, Bhagwan Satyanarayan says, don't break your promises. So last year when we had virtual dinner, and all of you say, oh, you know what? Next year if God bless and things open back, me a go dinner, me go dress up and me go. Bhagwan, she bless me now. The Lord has blessed all of you. You laugh aside there. You laugh. Bhagwan says, all of you, he's giving all of you a chance. All of you who promised last year that you're coming to dinner and the year before because whatever, come and fulfill your promise this year. Come and fulfill your promise. November 13th is a very important day. We work hard in this temple. We work tremendously hard. Hard more than we work in our regular jobs. I can vouch for anybody who work here as volunteers. We are all volunteers. And this is the extra push we need on November 13th to ensure that the beautiful work we do in this temple to preserve our culture, it continues. So we know that it's a time for raising funds, but it's a time to have some fun. Please come on out, buy tickets. We have tickets here available. You can contact us anytime. 500 tickets is nothing for us to sell out in this temple. It's nothing for us to sell out. If everybody who comes to this temple take one ticket, we got to get a lot of banquet halls to fill them. So we only printed 500 tickets, and we want all to be sold out. We want you to donate whatever little you can. We always have depended on the rich business people to donate because Palitada get rich friends, whatever it is. That's okay. They donate. The business people this year have done their part, and they will. But I'm asking everyone to contribute. I know a lot of people. When I look at the list last year for our donation that we received, there's a pretty long list. Lots of people. On the night of the virtual gala, we received so much donation. So I hope you're holding back. I sincerely hope you are. And on the night of, you're going to just surprised me with all his donations. So please do your best to make it a successful event. November 13th will pass, and I wouldn't be talking about this again. I want to go back to my normalcy in life, and so does the people of this temple, the few who are working to make it happen. It's going to be beautiful. The children are here every single day doing something, dancing. The dances this year, we're trying to bring back, some of the beautiful dances, the costumes, the kind of work we put into this thing. When we do dances, we don't tell people where we are getting come, because that's not, we source things, we organize it. It costs money, it costs time, it costs stress, but we make sure we do what we need to do to present our culture in an orderly form, in a beautiful form. People see this thing as this and say, this is our Hindu culture. This is how they dress, this is how they dance with class. Our children will be singing. There is no external, at our galas, there's usually no external artists except for when people eat dinner and thing. We promote our children. We can have so many imported people, local, international people singing who can snap of a finger, they'll come to this temple. But we promote the children of this temple because that's what we do. That's what we do for our gala. Come on out, enjoy music, enjoy food, enjoy dressing up, enjoy entertainment, and let's raise some funds as well on that night. I hope to see all of you and many more of you as well. Let us stand for Aarti. Om Yani Kani Cha Papani Janmantar Kritani Cha Tani Sarvani Nashyantu Pradakshinam Pade Pade. Om Jai Lakshmi Ramana Swami Jai Lakshmi Ramana Jai Lakshmi Ramana Swami Jai Lakshmi Ramana Satya Narayan Swami Satya Narayan Swami Janpatak Harana Om Jai Lakshmi Ramana Swami Jai Lakshmi Ramana Ratna Jarit Singhasan Adbhut Chaviraje Swami Adbhut Chaviraje Narad Karat Niranjan Narad Karat Nirajan Ghanta Dhvani Bhaje Om Jai Lakshmi Ramana Swami Jai Lakshmi Ramana Pragat Bhaye Kalikaran Dvij ko daras diyo Swami Dvij ko daras diyo Budho Brahman ban kar Budho Brahman ban kar Kanchal Mahal kiyo Om Jai Lakshmi Ramana Swami Jai Lakshmi Ramana Durbal Bhil Kataro Jin par kripa kari Swami jin par kripa kari Chandrachur ek raja Chandrachur ek raja जिनके विपति हरि ओम जय लक्ष्मी रमणा स्वामी जय लक्ष्मी रमणा हे सत्य नारायण स्वामी हमरे दुख हरो बेरा पार करो प्रभु जी बेड़ा पार करो। तुम हो देव दया के सागर, हम उद्धार करो। बेड़ा पार करो, प्रभु जी बेड़ा पार करो। अजर अमर अचल अविनाशी, घत घत के वासी, प्रभु तुम घत घत के वासी। जन्म जन्म से तुम्हारे दर्श की अखिया है प्यासी, प्रभु जी अखिया है प्यासी। ओ सत्य सनातन परम ब्रह्म हरि, हम पर कृपा करो। बेड़ा पार करो, प्रभु जी बेड़ा पार करो। बेड़ा पार करो, प्रभु जी बेड़ा पार करो। ओम त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मामदेव देव। कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृति स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि। मंगलं भगवान् विष्णु, मंगलं गरुडध्वजा, मंगलं पुंडरीकाक्षो, मंगलाय तनोहरि। मंगलं भगवान् शंभो, मंगलं वृषध्वजा, मंगलं पार्वतीनाथा, सर्वमंगल मंगलम्। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनां, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरु विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वर, गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म, तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय। ओम शांति शांति शांति, हरि ओम। बोले गणपति भगवान की, पवन सुत हनुमान की, सियाभज रामचंद्र की, लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की, बालकृष्ण लाल की, राधा कृष्ण भगवान की, गंगा मैया की, यमुना मैया की, गौ माता की, भारत माता की, सत सूर्य नारायण स्वामी की, बोले सत्यनारायण स्वामी की, सरस्वती माता की, महालक्ष्मी माता की, जगदम्बिका माता की। नमः पार्वती पतये, हर 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 महादेव। शंभो सत्य सनातन धर्म की। सबको ये जय जय सीताराम। आज की आनंद की जय। Please be seated for Aarti. Prasad will be given to you at the door. You must take prasad and consume the prasad as well before you leave. And bhojan is prepared for everyone in the auditorium downstairs. Please have some bhojan before you eat. It is a blessing for the temple for you to eat before you leave. Please don't leave without eating. At least go and have something. Thank you so much. See you all tomorrow evening. And I hope to see the youngsters, the children as well, because I know they have asynchronous or whatever they call it as of Monday, so they have a little bit more time to be at home. God bless all of you. Om Namo Narayana.